Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell. And welcome to a new video, and welcome to a live stream. Yes, I am currently live in my kitchen here in Moscow, Russia. Actually, we live in what we call Moscow region, so we're not actually in the Moscow center area, but Moscow is a very big city, so we're technically in Moscow region. In a lot of comments and videos, I do mention Moscow and Moscow region a lot, so just want to welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm not sure how many people will get in the live stream today, so it could be interesting ahead of time, which is not my normal thing to do. So thanks everybody who basically is here now, or maybe people are watching on replay. I do notice there's a lot of views later after the live streams because of the fact that where everybody lives all around the world, not everybody's awake or asleep at the same time naturally, right? So I'm here. I hope the quality of the video comes across okay, and the quality of the sound is okay as well. So please let me know otherwise. Unfortunately, I don't have a proper specific streaming camera. I am working on that. I have a bit of a list of things that I want to buy while I'm here. And of course, at the moment, with a lot of the kind of what's considered as imported items, the prices have gone up quite a whole lot because obviously there's a limited now avenue for things to come into the country. So where I want to get a specific camera, we're just going to have to work on that. So yeah, now I do see that we have 10 likes already on the live stream. So thanks very much for anyone that's put a like or a thumbs up, whichever the word you want to use. Where I work on cruise ships, we call it the funnel bump, where you actually do basically a fist bump with two thumbs. And then you do it like that. Someone created that on cruise ships, and we're basically stuck doing it. So yeah, so thanks everybody for coming into the live stream. Again, if you have not met me before, my name is Russell. I am originally from Perth, Australia. So if you have watched some of the videos and you're trying to pick up on the accent, it's not really that sort of strong, real dinky-die Aussie accent like a lot of people hope to hear. So yeah, it's a little bit more refined, I guess you could call it that. I've worked on cruise ships before now, or before last year or so. Basically, COVID put a whole spanner in the works. For more than 20 years, I've been working on cruise ships, primarily based out of the US. So a lot of ships out of Florida, New York, Tampa, New Orleans, over up in Alaska, so Vancouver, Seattle. I did a season in Europe out of Barcelona. So yeah, that's basically my backstory. It's probably a little bit longer than I'm sort of putting it out here, but we'll kind of go through a little bit more of it. I'll say a few hellos because I see some mentions here. Now, it's obviously a little bit difficult. There's going to be a lot of people here who won't put comments, so that's perfectly fine. You don't have to put anything. If you want to put a hi or hello or a thumbs up or whatever you want to put in the comments, it's always nice. Basically, putting likes on the video is nice enough for me. So yeah, so there's a couple of people that had some questions before I kind of got the live stream open. So basically, Chris Stapleton, Peter Mollier, and we have also Bo Palaton. Sorry, everybody. I've got the names a little bit skewed around. So yeah, if anyone's sort of coming in, a few people are saying where they're from. That's always nice. John Staniski. Hello from Chicago. Oh, now, John, I'm going to give you a kind of question. I wonder if you know who is the most famous Australian athlete who played for the Chicago Bulls. Now, I have a tiny 6 degrees of separation with him. He played for the Chicago Bulls quite a lot of years ago. I wonder if you're any kind of a sports person and you may know who it is. I'll give you the answer in a minute or two if you don't know. So Craig Milne, how are you going? Good to see you. Again, I probably don't know everybody that's here in the live stream. I know a few people from previous streams, but I'm sure there's new people that come and go. So thank you, everybody. Bearbull Cruising, I do know you very well from my cruise channel, and then here in Traveling with Russell channel as well. So how's it going, Bearbull? TTs, hello from Moscow, and I guess you're down under. We had the election in Australia today. I wonder if anyone around the world's seeing on news that we had an election in Australia. Basically what they call it, the sitting prime minister was ousted, and we now have a new prime minister. I think he's officially conceded, and the new guy has accepted the fact that he'll become the prime minister. Anthony Albanese is the new guy's name, and our old guy was Albo. They nickname him Albo, and then the outgoing guy is Scott Morrison, ScoMo. So we've lost ScoMo, we've got Albo in Australia now. That's pretty much what I've done today, by the way. I've stayed home, and from earlier around about lunchtime here, I put on the live streaming news that has the the election coverage once the polls close. So it's pretty neat just to watch that. So Gerardo Rios Garcia, hi from Oldemar, Florida. Oh, I've done lots of cruising out of Florida. I don't know Oldemar. I don't know any of the inland cities. So anywhere that's not, let's say, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Port Canaveral. I've been to Orlando. I've been to the theme parks in Orlando, so I don't know where Oldemar is. WAH Deben, hello from Netherlands. Oh, wow, Netherlands. I've been to Holland. I've been to Eemshaven, and I've been to Delfzijl. I was on a cruise ship that was being built in Papenburg, Germany, and then we basically were down the River Eems, and then we did the fit out of the ship in Eemshaven in Holland. So TT's asked, did I vote? Oh, sorry, I should put you guys' comments up on the board, up on the screen here. Sorry, everybody. I forgot I can do that. I kind of paying too much attention to the chat. So did I vote? TT's, I didn't vote. About 2 weeks ago, I received an email about what was going on, and I removed myself from the electoral roll. I was at home in Australia prior to August last year, and I was enrolled to vote while we were living in Australia for that year and a half. And then I took myself off the electoral. Because I'm overseas, I'm able to basically remove myself from the electoral roll. For anyone that doesn't know around the world, if you're old enough to vote in Australia and you're registered to vote, it's legal that you have to vote in federal elections, which is basically voting for the prime minister and then the national members, the candidates around the country. So I would love to have gone to vote at the the Australian embassy here in Moscow, but they weren't doing walk-in voting this year, which is I'm really kind of upset about in a way, because I would like to have gone and done that and been a part of it. Some strange reason, the Russian post for the Australian embassy wasn't accepting any kind of voting there, which I think they basically put it down to the fact that it would be too difficult to mail documents back to Australia, like the postal voting system. So, bit of a shame. Chris Milson's been to Russia and I quite liked it, but we're a few years ago. Yeah, I think slowly as I'm reading a lot of the comments and replying from the videos, a lot of people have been here at some point in the years gone by, and some people have been here quite a few times, and some people have sort of been to St. Petersburg or Moscow and things like that. Many years ago, I did do a cruise that did the Baltic capitals, and we actually came to St. Petersburg on the cruise ship. And we actually stayed overnight, so we actually had effectively 2 days in St. Petersburg, so you could do lots of tours and things like that. So, oh, there we go. Hello from Sweden. Oh, the home of IKEA. Gun-Marie Eriksson. Yeah, IKEA is closed here in Russia now, and they've actually also closed the factories. A lot of the, I guess, the wood products, if you want to call it that, I'm not too sure exactly what they were manufacturing, but IKEA did actually have manufacturing here in Russia, and they've basically shuttered. They're calling it shuttered. They've shuttered the manufacturing plants for IKEA. If you've watched a couple of the videos that I've done, I did go to the shopping center. Actually, if anyone's watched Konstantin and I's video together, that mall that we went to, Megatropolistan, that's kind of our local shopping center. It's a little bit further away than where we both live. But there's an IKEA there, and actually the Mega shopping center is owned by IKEA. So that's pretty much why it's still open. And if anyone might have caught it in my video, I kind of did point it out in my video. the Swedish flag flying outside the shopping centre. So, from Yorkshire. I know Yorkshire very well. My dad is from Leeds, Bradford, in West Yorkshire, in Gummersall, actually. Gummersall, West Yorkshire is my dad. He's from BD194TU. I forget what the postcode was from Yorkshire. And I have a lot of relatives still in Yorkshire, aunties, uncles, still in Yorkshire. So very nice. Oh, cool. That's very cool. Someone's from Yorkshire. Also mandatory for state elections. Yeah, last year when we had just talking about the election, everybody. So yeah, please comment away, talk to each other. Unfortunately, I don't have a moderator here. I've got 3 different ones when they are here. So hopefully somebody's not going to say anything too outlandish. So let's hope that kind of stays friendly like that. So unfortunately, I won't look over. I've got a second screen over here where I can see the chat before I put it up on the screen, but then I kind of catch it too late. So yeah, last year, just talking about the election, when we had our state elections in Western Australia last year, I actually helped out on the polling booths for when Mark McGowan was basically won in an absolute bath of votes. And I got a hat and a t-shirt. I've actually got the hat here with me. I should wear it in a video, maybe put a photo on Facebook or something of that. So I will go back to the other questions at the top of the chat. So if a couple of people did ask questions before I came in here. So I don't know if anyone's watched Konstantin's videos. He kind of does like a message and then he doesn't have the chat on because he has thousands of people in his live streams. We're kind of a nice, cozy number of people here. We might gain a few more people here or there, but he just isn't able to keep up with the chat. It goes so quickly. And that's when we talked last week there. We talked about that. So Gerardo says, aren't you scared of the future for foreigners in Russia being targeted by security forces and agencies? I don't believe that is happening at all. There is no news about anything like that happening. I'm not scared at all living here. I go out into Moscow, I would say every second day, or Moscow region or somewhere. Today I stayed home intentionally because I was going to do the live stream. I wanted to watch the election on TV. And it's actually a really beautiful day today. The sun hasn't set yet here. It's currently 8:13 p.m., by the way, in Moscow. And it's a beautiful day. And I should have gone and done something extra today, but I planned it as my stay home day. And then tomorrow I'm going out. So yeah, I don't believe there's any targeting of foreigners. There is, of course, there's a bit of a story. I don't know where everybody else is from about the American basketballer that's held in, I guess she's in detention for bringing a banned substance in her bags. She was basically stopped at the airport. I think, is it Brittany Griner? I'm not sure of her name. So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably an isolated case, and obviously something went wrong, and she's not doing the right thing. Probably, I don't know. I know she's been traveling to Russia over quite a lot of years, playing basketball in the I guess Russian basketball league here, and honestly, truly, guys, people that travel with drugs or banned substances in their bags and luggage shouldn't do that. No matter which country you're planning to enter or exit through, honestly and truly, it's not worth it. I mean, I don't know her circumstances beyond that because that's all that's sort of in the news here. So yeah, I don't feel at all threatened or scared of anything that's happening. But that's just me. So I don't know who's who on the Chicago Bulls teams. Yeah, now, so way back in the 80s when Michael Jordan was part of that kind of winning kind of era of the team where they won quite a lot of championships. There was Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Tony Kukoc. There was who's the crazy guy with the crazy hair? I forget his name now. But there was Luke Longley. He was the starting center for the Chicago Bulls. And he's actually from Perth, Australia, where I'm from. And many years ago, when I was at school, I was in a year below his brother. It was either Sam or Griffin Longley. There's 3 brothers, Luke, Sam, and Griffin. and I played tennis with his mum at my local tennis club in Fremantle Tennis Club in the suburb of Perth. So, yes, empty car parks and now rebranded stores. Yeah, the video that Constantine and I did together. We that Avia Park, Avia Park, the Megatropolis stand that we went to. A massive amount of people that would come to that shopping center came for IKEA. There's an IKEA there. There's the whole main shopping center. Then at the kind of the middle of his video, we're also in the supermarket Ashan. We had that little sit down, if you notice, as sort of drinking we didn't drink beer. We had like fake beer. It was actually real beer and real glasses. They set up like a gardening section. So, and it was really weird to see that car park so empty. I mean, I've been there a ton of times, and the IKEA has basically driven everybody away. And then obviously other closed stores in there as well. Another factor too, the cinema would bring a lot of people there. And of course, they're not showing any of the big new releases, like the Batman movie wasn't released here. It was basically pulled. I think it was about the week before. I think the release was around about that 24th of February date. So, yeah, good video of you and Constantine. Yes, I agree. Now, if anyone's actually noticed, it might become his first million view video. Now, I dream of that, but I know I'll never get that close to 1 million views. But I'm in shock. His other video that's nearly 1 million is the one that he did at the closing of McDonald's, his local McDonald's where he lives. And that was a really nice video. I actually kind of like that video. And then this one that we did, it's like 800 and something thousand now. So it's a slim chance it might pass the McDonald's video. And I did tell him that I bet it's going to become a 1 million view video. We made a bit of a joke about it at the time, and it's crazy. Is housing cheap in Russia? SD971. How's it going, by the way? I guess based on the ruble going up or down now quite a lot, and the fact if I would be spending Australian dollars or US dollars, the house prices have jumped up a whole lot if you compare the fact that the dollar has dropped quite dramatically. There's kind of two ways of looking at how the dollar against the ruble is right now. So the dollar, they say that the dollar has dropped against the ruble, but it depends if you're spending, let's say, American money exchanging it to rubles, or if you're spending, say, you're outside of the country and you're spending rubles into US dollars. So it's not a good time, I guess, if you're bringing US dollars here, because the exchange rate has dropped quite a lot. I think it's about 60 or 70 rubles for a dollar, I think. It got to about 130 rubles right after the February kind of event that happened, which is just insane. The Australian dollar against the ruble got to just about 100. It's now sitting at around about 50, which is what it was quite a few years ago. So I would say overall, the cost of apartments here not expensive if I compare it to Australia. Absolutely not. I mean, there is a massive amount of apartments, particularly in Moscow center. Okay, where we are in this suburb, Moscow region here, there's only about 6 or 7 towers where they're kind of big buildings. If you go into Moscow proper, and there is towers till the eye can see. I mean, the average cost, I would say, is cheaper than anywhere, maybe in Europe or Australia, Canada, America. If I compare it to Australia and the price that I paid for my apartment in Australia, I've got an apartment that, well, the bank mostly owns. I don't really own it. So, I mean, I could buy essentially 2, well, depending on whereabouts it would be, I could buy at least 2 apartments for the price of 1 in Australia. And I could buy something here on a much higher level with a kind of a view, and technically closer to the city, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, I'd say it's cheaper, but that's just a general answer. I mean, it's very hard to kind of put that as an answer because there's so many cities in Russia as a country. in the Far East, and then over here, Moscow, St. Petersburg, the biggest cities. I just had to compare where I live and where I know. It's hard to kind of blanket the whole country as an answer. So, hello from Florida. How long have you lived in Russia? Do you speak Russian fluently? Niet по-русски. I don't speak fluent Russian at all. I speak, I would say, 2 or 3% Russian. I can't speak conversation Russian. That's a certainty. I've lived in Russia on and off for 9 years since I met my wife. We met in Thailand on holiday. We were both on separate holidays, and we met in a karaoke bar. It's quite an interesting kind of long story about how we met, but on and off for 9 years. In that first few years, I was going back and forward to the cruise ships, and then flying back to Russia, back to the cruise ships. This year now, I've been here since, well, I think it's nearly on 8 months now, 7 or 8 months. I now have Russian residency as of, well, a few weeks ago. I've been going through that process for the last 6 months. Doing things like the visa process here is quite long and drawn out, and a lot of paperwork and a lot of stamping and getting things certified and official. And we did the final bit of it literally this week. On Wednesday, we went to basically, when you come to live in Russia, or if you come on holiday, you've got to register your place of stay. So whether it's at a hotel or a house or apartment or a friend's house or whatever, if you're a tourist or whoever you are, you have to register that you're here in the country. Typically, if you come on a holiday, like via a hotel or from a travel agent booking, they kind of register you through the hotel as that's your address. But when you live here, you register at your place of stay. So kind of a little bit strange the way it looks at it here. We rent this place where we live here. This is not our apartment. We own an apartment in another part of Moscow that we consider as our address. So now myself and my wife are both registered there. But to do that, you've got to go to that district, which is on the other side of Moscow. So it's quite a trek to get over there to do that, to register in Russia. So now, as of Wednesday, we took the final paperwork. You used to just be able to turn up there, and it was a bit of a free-for-all. It's kind of like a council office, but or administration office, but it's for passports and registration of where you live. And it used to be a bit of a free-for-all. Now they've moved it over to where you book an appointment on an app, and you get a time, and you go there, and it's all a little bit better. But it's still, if anyone's Russian that's here in the group, they'll know how awkward and not simple doing paperwork is in Russia. So, just found. Oh, sorry, Ron Nee, how you going? Just found you from the Russia Guys channel. Hello from the Outer Banks, Redonda of the North Carolina, aka the best beaches in the world. Oh, that's a big call, Ron. We have some amazing beaches in Australia. I've cruised out of Charleston, South Carolina. That was quite a few years ago. We did cruises from there. The locals didn't like cruise ships in Charleston because it blocks their view. It causes traffic. People don't like the amount of people there. So I wonder if you're talking about the Russia Guy channel, as in the guy from Perth. So there's the Russia guy that lives in Novosibirsk. He's actually from Perth also. I'm pretty sure he might have lived in a regional area of Perth, because he says that he was a farmer and he had land and things like that. I've not watched his very first videos where he talks about where he was from. So, I've actually messaged him a few times and he's never got back to me. I've messaged him on Instagram quite a few times and never got back to me. So nice, Ron. Sorry, if anyone's going to comment after I'm talking, it's going to be a little bit further down. So I'm going to be a bit behind. I'm going to try and go through all people's comments and answer questions. It's a lot easier, I think, than trying to have something to say. So, oh my God, I'm in Leeds. Yes, Dewsbury, Cleckheaton, Gummersall Cricket Club. My dad was a member there quite a lot of years ago. And he tells me this always funny story that when he'd walk to the cricket club from where he lived, he'd have to, his cat would follow him. Rigsby, his cat. And the cat would meow outside the cricket club, and the members in there, the sticklers they are in cricket clubs, they'd say, "Oh, Tony Otway, that's my dad's name, Tony Otway. Your cat's meowing outside. You've got the cat's missing my dad, right?" So kind of funny. Hey, Russell, what is your work visa status for coming back to cruise ships? Now, I kind of have a tiny update, Bear Bull. So my Russian visa is done and finalized. I just sort of mentioned that just before, the RVP. So that visa now is good. My registration is good. I've done everything now. I can leave the country. I can fly back. If anyone wants to buy me a ticket, I can go somewhere. Perfect. I can enter and exit Russia freely with no worries. Now, just to go further on the update, I'm now messaging the medical clinic here about doing my cruise line medical, because my wife wants me to go back to ships. I want to stay here and do YouTube videos and become, somewhat famous from YouTube. It all depends on a few factors, if I can make YouTube work or not. So yeah, I literally today, although it's Saturday, I forgot to message the lady yesterday. So I messaged this today and she replied back, "I'm just looking into what I need to do to go and get the medical done." There is a clinic here in Moscow that does cruise line medicals, which I've already been to her before. Interestingly, the medical center is in the German embassy in one of the suburbs of Moscow center. So I was messaging her, I guess her secretary, or whatever you call the lady at the front desk. So I'm just following up now with what I need to do. They told me I need to go get a teeth x-ray, which is a bit strange. And I know about getting a chest x-ray, but I can do them locally, bring them with me to the place and get the medical done. And then from there, I've not emailed my company yet to follow up on that. I'm going to just work on getting the medical sort of set up and then figure out what to do from there. So I just noticed that there's where is this? Sorry. That there is a super chat from Pirate Craggy, £10. As long as you are happy, safe, and content, home is home. It's wherever you make it. Pirate Craggy, thank you, by the way, and welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you for a while. Yes, I totally agree. I love living where I do. If anyone, again, is Russian here in the chat, I love living in a Prelivka. If you could see the sunset now, I can't turn the camera, sorry. That's why it's sort of bright coming in. We have this nice floor-to-ceiling windows here. We're on the 10th level of our apartment, overlooking our town. I've actually got the window open. I can see the church. I can see the train station is quite a fair off. We're way off. But we're about 40 minutes from Moscow center. Just in terms of where Konstantin lives, literally it's about a 15-minute car ride. He lives a little bit closer to Moscow than I do, but it's very easy for me to get to his house and where he lives, for anyone that knows me through Konstantin. So thank you, Pirate Craggy, for the super chat. If anyone doesn't know, I've kind of got a bit of a thing with super chats, super stickers. What's the other one called? Super thanks. We are trying to get my wife a microwave. If anyone sort of watched some of my earlier live streams, there was an idea about doing something with raising money for things and what was going on, but that's sort of a bit out of my mind. So, because I don't think it would be awfully helpful. I'm not being negative about it, but yeah, so now it's kind of the microwave fund. The other idea is to do the train trip, the train from Moscow to Vladivostok, the Trans-Siberian Railway, and it was to do it a railway fund, but for now it's my wife's microwave fund. So thank you, Pirate Craggy. If anyone does super chats, I greatly appreciate. Just found you from inside Russia. Yes. And Drep, thanks for coming and watching. Yeah, Konstantin and I, we chat almost daily via social media. And he doesn't live too far from me, but obviously he works. He's got family. He's got a lot of things on his plate. So when we met up last Sunday, it was nice to basically spend some time with him. It was just he and I. I haven't met his wife and kids. We just meet up together and chat. I mean, if we were kind of with his kids or wife, it would be maybe a little bit harder and difficult to hang out as much. So, Ron says, I have a real question. How do Russian women react to Aussie, Australian, US guys? Are they all of you or what? I wish they were. Once, I'm not going to say about US guys, but I actually, if you watch the video where I walked around the Europiski Mall, the couple of videos back, and towards the very end, I was just walking towards the supermarket, and there were some young girls there, right? They were kind of teenage girls, and then they're like, I could hear her say, "Oh, Amerikansky," and I get it a lot when I'm speaking in English, particularly when I'm doing the videos. A lot of people think I'm American, and it's almost automatic, and I correct them so quickly. Oh, I'm from Australia, and then they're like, "Oh, Australia! Oh, Australia, good!" And everyone's sort of more curious about Australia and all that kind of stuff. So I'm married, by the way, last 4 years. So I mean, there is a lot of stunning women and girls and ladies here in Russia, no question. I mean, particularly now coming into summertime, it's kind of like fashion show, fashion parade if you walk around, especially in the parks in the city. So they react very favorably to Australians. I probably would say there's a little bit of an anti-American sentiment towards American people generally because of things that have gone on recently and in the past. And I think, I'm very quick to kind of say that I'm not American, even though I'm speaking in English, right? So it's not something that I like to do, but I do it because I'm not American, right? I'm Australian. And I'm happy to kind of, flaunt that fact to people. I do wish I'd have more ladies sort of falling over for me, but not quite. My wife keeps telling me, go out there and look for a new wife if you want. So, another real question. Why in the hell have you not changed that horrid green LOL? Yellow does not go together. Yeah, this is a rented apartment. It is a common thing in Moscow in apartments, very common, that people have very outlandish kitchens and bathrooms. This bathroom in our apartment is quite normal tiles and colors, but people love like the crazy colors and the crazy kitchen cabinets. If this was our place, 100% I'd have painted this kitchen the day I got here off the plane. Our previous apartment, which we used to live in this building on the 11th level before, and we had a much more normal, better, easier on the eyes apartment. But you can go to any modern new apartment, and even if you look online at websites for houses for sale or rent, it's very interesting, the different types of apartments here. So sorry. We kind of is as it was. This we really honestly, the guy that we rent off is a super nice guy. I've met him. He actually still comes to us every month to collect the rent. And he's a super nice guy. My wife kind of says that the finishing and the apartment construction in here wasn't very good, which I noticed that as well. There's a little bit. It was built and remodeled very cheaply. So whether or not it's a cheap kitchen, I don't know. So it's vibrant. Yeah, this is kind of normal. What was it wasn't in the old apartment where we lived up the road here on Dubki 19 is the name of the apartment building. Dubki 19. That one had, I think it was like a red or an orange cupboards in the kitchen. So this one's a little, it's okay. You get used to it, but it's not. If we owned this place, we would definitely rip it out and change it 100%. What's the news? What's the news about? What does the news say about RU in Ukraine? I know that state propaganda is insane. So I'm not really going to talk about anything probably as much as what Konstantin does. He basically does go into a lot more details about things. I kind of keep that out away from the channel. I mean, of course, me walking around a shopping center with empty stores obviously is a part of what's happened, but it's not kind of a part of what I want to have on the channel here. I don't watch. My wife and I, we watch very little news. There is a ton of channels on our free-to-air television. All the TV here is what's called state-controlled or government-run. So obviously there's a bit of a bias in the coverage that they show you. There is a lot of, I guess, if you want to call it that, positive spin on what's happened or what's happening or what's panning out. I mean, what's very important is a lot of people maybe don't watch all of the different types of news around the world and don't sort of maybe know what's happened in the Donbass region, in Mariupol, in this sort of in Crimea and things like that, and what this meteorological plant where these guys were kind of holed up in, what they've done or what they did do to the people of that region of Russia. And that's a very difficult thing that most people don't see that side of the news. So yeah, the news here is a little bit biased. I'm going to be honest about it, but I guess it's biased towards the Russian side of what's happening. Please watch other channels. Try and avoid CNN, BBC, these sort of channels, because there's very much one-sided news. I know that things have happened on both sides, and good and bad, and there is kind of like three sides, I guess, to the news. One country's, the other countries, and then what the media reports. So it's a very difficult kind of situation. Oh, my wife is here. Do you want to come and say hello very fast? There is a few people here. We've got 71 people watching the live stream. And Pirate Craggy has made a super chat for your microwave. Jen? So do you want to come and say hello or wave? You might see my wife just off in the background. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question. Again, I'm going to be a little bit slow catching up with the questions. I'll definitely go through it. Yeah, Dennis Rodman, that was the guy that had the crazy hair, and he was the one that met. Didn't he meet the North Korean leader at some point? Do you want to say hello here? No, actually, he's put another comment. Hello. Let me just read this one. Where is this one? Right here. Your missus is right. Cruising is the job. YouTube is a great side hustle. You can achieve greatest in both, and you're doing it. Here's a bit more for your missus. And the microwave. Oh, so he said 10 pounds. So towards the microwave. Okay. So, some people said hello back. I'm just going to scroll back to where we were here. Oh my gosh. I think, am I getting too far back here? Or am I? Are you going to go back working on the cruise ships anytime soon? Lisa, I'm working on the medical part. Now the visa for Russia is set. It may be a few months off. It may not happen. I'm trying to see if I can get on ships in Europe. I'm trying to see if I can do ships that are a bit closer to home. Hopefully that might work out. I'm not sure. So he also played for the Perth Wildcats. What? That would be crazy if he did. Warian1 says 887,000 views. That's the video that Konstantin and I made. I think it's going to be a 1 million view video. And I did tell Konstantin is very humble about it. When I talked to him yesterday, we chatted for a little while, and he's very humble about it. And I said to him, oh, it's a big deal. He's like, no, just calm down. So, oh, Peter is from Korolov, Moscow. Yeah, I saw your message right at the top of the chat that you're from Korolov. So yeah, I think that's in the northeastern side of Moscow region. I think you're on the opposite side. We're in a Prelivka, which is closer to Vnukovo Airport. So if anyone wants to know where we are, I mean, I'm not going to hide away from where I live. I won't mention anything about where Konstantin lives. I know where he lives. He lives close to me, but not here. So do you feel you stand out more these days speaking English, especially out in public with inside Russia? You do get people turning heads when you're talking in English. I know when he and I were together, we looked a little bit more obvious when we were out because we were both carrying cameras around. So we did look a little bit more noticeable in the mall. No one said anything that day, by the way, and I was a bit surprised because we both had our cameras up and things like that. I probably do stand out a little bit, especially when I do like the introductions at the beginning and end of the videos, like the one I did yesterday where I went to the 2 shopping centers on the same day, people sort of turn around and turn their head and things like that. And it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, if someone wants to talk to me and talk back, no worries at all with it. I mean, it's kind of very nice to kind of do that. So what's the average monthly cost of living in Moscow for a single guy without renting any accommodation, especially after the said February event? That's a bit tough to kind of give a number. Without paying rent, it could be very cheap. Cost of food here is, the sun is setting now. So I'm just going to put that on to see if it brightens it up a little bit. I might have to put the other light on in a second. Cost of food is relatively cheap. I mean, it's gone up somewhere between 10 and 30%, everything. I mean, realistically, you could live, if you're not paying rent and bills, you could probably live off $500, $1,000 a month in US dollars. I think even $1,000 a month would be very generous to live off that if you're not paying rent. I mean, the cost of, like, my phone here is only costing me, internet for the apartment is $12 a month. My phone is about $10 or $11 a month. My wife pays that bill, so you could live relatively cheaply if you're not paying rent. The cost of your apartment would factor a lot depending on how close you would be to Moscow center versus Moscow region. So what do you think when Russians say standard of living is increasing year on year because of Putin's leadership? How do you compare standard of living in Russia to your native Australia? Look, I would say people have as good a living conditions. Standard of living. I would say everybody here lives who has a house, has an apartment, live comfortably. People just live here. I mean, they're not outlandish, especially the people that we know, the town where I live here. People are very normal. There is a few apartment buildings, but there's a lot of standard family homes in this area as well. And people live very normally. Is it better here than Australia? I mean, Australia is quite expensive to live there. I mean, if I've got to work harder for the money, the money doesn't go as nearly as far. If I went to, say, a supermarket to buy food, if we went out for lunch or dinner, you spend money a lot quicker and easier in Australia. I mean, we were paying $150 a month for our phones and internet. Here we're paying, I think, about $35 a month just for our phones and internet. It's probably a tiny bit less than that. So there's a lot of cheaper cost of living here. I mean, Putin does do a lot of good things in terms of healthcare, keeping the prices down of pharmaceutical items, not allowing, especially now where some prices have gone up, the government is trying to control the cost of staple goods. So things like, flour, rice, sugar, I'm going to say some kind of fruits and not fruits, but vegetables, so that the average person can still live a comfortable life. So that makes sense. Outer Banks, North Carolina, extremely underrated. Even Americans don't know how good the Outer Banks are. Keep it a secret. Warrian, I will. I won't tell too many people. No, he's a Russian guy. You and him did a video about life after sanctions. Yeah, okay, so you're talking about Konstantin. Yeah, his channel is Inside Russia. There is an Australian guy with a channel called I think it's called The Russia Guy Channel, or Russia Guy Channel. That's why I thought you maybe talked about him. But yeah, Inside Russia is Konstantin's channel. I live in Rodathi. Come on vacation, leave on probation. Lots of tourist idiots here. Yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah. So isn't that where all of the spring breakers go? How is healthcare in Russia? To be honest, I've not really had any need to go to clinics. To be very honest, in 20 years that I've worked on the cruise ships and now, I very rarely get sick or ill. I mean, I'm going to touch some kind of wood. I've been to the hospital here. The hospital is literally up the road, by the way. I can walk there in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I've been there once. I basically strained my knee climbing over the seat at the football, and I went there to get a X-ray. And basically, the public healthcare is free here. So the healthcare that's free here is okay. Obviously, you're in lines. You've got to wait. Things take time, but they will look after you. There is private clinics, private hospitals that you can go to and pay to be seen quicker, faster, better. I mean, there is a ton of pharmacies here. You can essentially get most things without any need for prescriptions. So you can just walk in, get what you need, use it. And it's a very good system that way. And the cost of pharmaceutical items is very reasonable compared to everywhere else. I've actually been a few times on trainings while I was at JTSC USEF. We go stilts. It was honestly an amazing time. All the guys I ever trained with loved it. Oh, beach houses on stilts. Yes, I've seen some of those on house, like hunting channels and TV shows in America. Yeah, home is where the heart is. Yes, completely agree. It's Constantine said he's moving. Yeah, I know at the moment he is planning to go to stay with family in Rostov. I know he's mentioned that on his channel as well. He said he's going there for basically now is sort of spring, summer time here as well. So a lot of people do go to regional areas, to dachas, to areas outside of, let's say, Moscow. He did say he was going for a little while. I don't know exactly how long. He's very fortunate he can work remotely with his job, and he gets to travel to wherever he needs to go for what he's doing and meetings and things. And he doesn't necessarily have to go into offices to work in Moscow where his offices are. So he can work remotely, which is a bit of a bonus for his job. So that being said, do whatever is right. You know best what feels right. Thank you, Pirate Craggy. Yes, no, we're kind of good. We've talked about everything going on and what's happening and the kind of current times and then the future and things like that. So if you can, whenever you get a chance, turn these big lights on. Not you can do it now or in a while because, sorry, I'm just switching the lights on here so that once the sun goes down a little bit more here, you guys can see the bright green cabinets behind a little bit more. Yeah, we're kind of good right now, honestly. I know if you watch Constantine, he has a lot of different circumstances in his life. He's got, of course, wife, I think 3 kids. I've not met them personally, but a job, and his job is in a difficult industry right now, let's say. So he's got a lot of other things to kind of deal with and pressure on him. And that comes across even when I met him and when I hang out with him and things like that. So, yeah, I would tell them I'm Australian too. Never ever heard of never heard of the US. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about America, cruising there, working on cruise ships there, working for an American company. It's a big part of my working on cruise ships and a lot of the cities that I've visited. So I've got a lot of things that I can reference back to America quite quickly if, to talk about things. So, someone's from Hawaii, Jen. Oh, wow. Terrence Awamoto. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. Aloha. What's the other one? Mahana Nui Loa. Is Happy New Year, I think it is, right? Mahalo and aloha. Yes, thank you again. If you're watching a bit delayed chat, there may be American and sentiment in Russia, but I bet if you told them that they could become American, they would. Yeah, this is, I guess a lot of people get that thing in their head about life is greener on the other side of the fence, so to speak, right? I mean, people sort of say to me, oh, Australia is so much better. You've got beaches, you've got beautiful countryside, it's beautiful, beautiful. It is. I mean, there's elements and places here in Russia that's beautiful as well. I mean, you just have to kind of see past, I guess, some of the things going on. I mean, there's no perfect governments in the world. I mean, we've just changed our prime minister today in Australia. So, yeah, I think a lot of people just want to kind of maybe, oh, I want to. My wife talks about it too. Oh, I want to go to LA and live there, and I want to work in LA and things like that. And it's a big city, like Moscow's a big city. You know what I mean? I want to go work for the company on cruise ships in Florida, but I don't necessarily want to live in Miami where the offices are. I want to live maybe a suburb or two away from there. You know, it's I don't think it's always greener on the other side of the fence. I guess where we all live around the world, I would live in Hawaii, by the way. Sorry, Terrence. I've cruised on ships in Hawaii, quite a few contracts there. So I would be there in a heartbeat in Honolulu. No worries at all. I stayed with a friend in Kahala, which is just outside of Honolulu, if you know it, near Diamond Head. Beautiful part of Hawaii. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the best I can kind of put to that answer, I guess. Oh, Inside Russia sent me here. Oh, hi, Sean. Good to see you. Greetings from Moscow, Russia. It seems that Konstantin and I think he does his live stream in his kitchen as well. If you notice behind him, that's his balcony door and the net curtains for his window to his balcony. This sort of space behind me here would be the balcony on this apartment, but they remove the wall and the window and door, so it makes our kitchen a lot bigger. So, oh, Gary is here. Good to see you, Gary. And he's also one of our moderators. Yeah, thank you for coming a little bit later than I started. But yeah, if there's any kind of wayward questions or wording or certain words, we will not have them in the chat. So if anyone does get a little bit over and above and emotional about things, yes, thank you, Gary, and good to see you. Greetings from Russia. My wife, Jen's here as well. I don't know if you caught her in the screen or not. We've had a couple of super chats, and the microwave fund is alive and well. We are going to go and work on that. I'm a commercial scalloper by trade, so cruise ships are something I see a lot. I bet working on a cruise ship would be fun. Our boat is 110 feet and maxed out at 13 knots. You'll all just left us. You all just left us. Yeah, I was watching a lot the what's the crab fishing show up in Alaska there, and that's very cool. My dad watches Wicked Tuna, by the way. If you know that show from television, Wicked Tuna, my dad loves that show. He's like obsessed to watch it in Australia on the whatever channel it is, Discovery Channel, I think, or something like that. Yeah, I guess we'd cruise past. I guess every time like that, when you're watching a ship go by, you're like, oh, I wonder what it's like on board. And we're looking at the fishing boat going, oh, I wonder what they're eating for dinner. So, oh, what happened there? Oh, I guess the chat just went crazy. What happened there? Oh, let's just go through some chat a bit faster. Hey, Russell, last two videos were great. Hope you're doing good. Oh, Easelcat, how's it going? Again, greetings. You can see my wife just in the background. She's just preparing some dinner. She just finished work. Saturdays and Sundays are her kind of two busiest days of the week. So she's doing a bit of dinner now. Oh, hello. Oh, there's some waving from Pirate Craggy, by the way, and Idka and Faith. Oh, and Gary as well. So there's quite a few people saying hello to you. So you got to stand a bit more when you wave. Just come 2 steps over. So yeah, y'all don't make him talk politics. He doesn't need that. Yeah, that's false equivalency is wrong. You cannot compare CNN and BBC with Russian state media. That's exactly what is wrong with this debate. Yeah, that's really why I don't sort of bring it up too much. I don't really want to talk about it too much either. I just watched today the Australian news channel that had the there's like one particular guy that does the polling results after we have the election every 4 years in Australia, typically 3 or 4 years. And he's like the famous guy that does that every time it's an election. So I thought I'd watch him, and he's kind of the guy that knows everything. Where are we here? So yeah, it's not dangerous to talk about things going on. The point is just that you know nothing about this. Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit. I do know what is happening and not happening and things like that. I mean, in depth, I don't. So yeah, that's why I don't really bring it up and talk about it. So, so I have a friend that lives in Adelaide, and I've been wanting to buy a house there. Yeah, Adelaide's a beautiful part of the world, the city of churches. Yeah, it's I would say it's probably a little bit smaller population-wise than Perth. A little bit more, I guess less population. So I bet you know more about the or the one or whatever your name is. Okay, I'm not sure if that's to me. Hi, Russell. We understand. Oh, Bobby, how's it going? I'm going to say hello to people that look like they're new in the chat. So we understand you have to be cautious with any opinions, but you sound slightly apologetic for what is happening in Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, no one wants to see things happen, country versus country. You know, I know Australia went to battle with and against other countries as well over the years. We have the Anzacs, Australian New Zealand Army Corps. I mean, I guess apologetic. I mean, you know, the toughest thing is when something happens and a country does something. You know, I mean, you know, does everybody have to be the people that follow what's happened? You know, I mean, I don't really want to be that person, I guess. But living here and living under this roof, you know what I mean? I still have to kind of live by my choices of living here. I don't know how to say that better, so I don't know if that's right or not. But A+ Russian is here. How's it going? Good to see you. You should come visit Korolov. Oh, do you know where Korolov is? Korolov, home of the Russians. Oh, home of the Russian space industry. They have a swimming pool with a space station at the bottom, and there is a space museum. That's Korolov? Is that where the space museum is? Korolov? Oh, okay. Yes, there's a swimming pool with a space museum at the bottom. Oh, I'm going to have to look this place up, Peter. Thanks. I'm just asking my wife about it. I'm Russian and my wife is from Ukraine. Do you actually ever speak Russian? I guess you're talking to each other. I speak very little Russian. Pirate Craigie says, well, I'm away and I lurk and partly visit other channels. Keep it up, Russell. Love to Jen and chat. Be safe and good. Thank you, Pirate Craigie. You might have left already if you're here or not. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the super chats. If anyone does do them, I appreciate them. It goes a long way to keeping the channel the way it is and making more videos and making living here better and easier, I guess, if you want to call it that. So I don't actually have a job while I'm here in Russia, by the way. Now that I've got my visa, I could get a job, my residency visa. My wife laughs every time I say it because I'm kind of calling YouTube my job right now. So yes. Thank you, Pirate Craggy. Yeah. Hi, Russell. I'm late again. How long did it take you to adjust to Russian winters, or have you yet? Over the years, I mean, the cold weather doesn't really bother me. What really bothers me is like when it's like a nice day like today, and as a plane flies right over, and it's cold at night, and I don't wear like pants, or I've still got my shorts and bare feet in the apartment, or like the other day when I went to the shopping mall 2 days ago, I actually went to a helicopter convention. I've got a new video coming out maybe tomorrow or the next day. And it basically was beautiful when I left. When I come out the convention and went to walk to the shopping center, it was pouring with rain. And I didn't bring like a rain jacket or my normal winter jacket or even a hooded jacket. And it always bothers me like that. It's like 5 degrees colder and I didn't bring a jacket and I'm freezing. But in winter, I obviously rug up everything and I'm perfectly fine with it. It doesn't bother me, the cold winters here. Really, it doesn't. Jeff says Moscow is not Russia. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Jen, my wife, agrees with that. Moscow is not Russia. That's very true. Russia's not Moscow. Moscow's not Russia. It is a very, I guess it's, everybody still lives here as Russian, right? Or, living in Moscow, but it is a different dynamic living, particularly closer to Moscow center. Where we are here in the suburbs, I would say this is a little bit more the true Russian living. Would you say? Living here is more like Russia than living closer to Moscow. I like the video you did with Konstantin. Thank you, Lisa. Do you know Eli and Zangiv, the other YouTubers in Russia? I've watched their videos. I don't know them personally. I've not made contact with either of these two either. I probably should. Ellie makes very nice videos. She basically puts a lot of history and background into the videos as well. I don't know them personally, so I'm not sure if Konstantin knows them. Maybe he knows Zangief, I think. I don't think he's met Ellie. I'm not sure. I want to hear that ding on the microwave in the not too distant future, Craigie says. He wants to hear the ding of the microwave, Jen. There's kind of like days when we really wish we had a microwave, right? Where it's like you can just chuck something in the microwave and warm it up, or bring something home and microwave it. And then there's days where I'm like, I'm glad we don't have one. So I think there's more days we need one now than when we don't. So and we're very close to getting one. Please say hello to Konstantin. His channel is blocking a number of viewers, including my main channel, this one. That's interesting. I will say hello to him from everybody. Because of the color. Oh, is that? Oh, we'll see it. Your name is okay. So, have you experienced any biases living in Russia? Have I experienced any biases? I don't think any biases. No, Jen. Like any effects because I'm Australian. No, not at all. I mean, the one thing that's important when people do choose to live in other countries, right, is to kind of, try to fit into the lifestyle. You don't have to live the values and live all of that kind of thing, but just fit into the lifestyle of where you're living, right? So realize that this is just how it is. That's how it is. I have a bit of a thing a lot where I say it's, Moscow style, right? It's Moscow style. It's not really Russian style, but that's just how it is, how it's been for years, and and once you kind of have been here a few times, or you've been here longer than just a short holiday, you kind of adjust to that, and it's easier to live here. There's 43 likes, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for all of the likes. I appreciate it. Looks like you might need to assess the mods in the live stream. Oh, okay. Thank you, A1. Do you watch Bald and Bankrupt? BS. How's it going? I do watch Bald and Bankrupt. I really like his videos. I like him as a person. I like how he brings his videos across. It's very interesting. If anyone's watched Johnny FD as a YouTuber, he and Bald left Kiev. I've got to keep saying it, Kiev. Together back in February, and if you watch both videos, you'll see a completely different story. Yeah, I like Bald's videos. I've watched him a long time, a lot of years, even before, let's say now, if you like. So, pensioners and vulnerables are not looked after in Russia. Villages have no gas or inside toilets. Houses are like shacks. You're probably talking, Maz, about, regional areas where people live, not in the towns and things like that. And there is, especially out sort of in the outlying areas where there is dachas, called dachas, like country houses. We actually, next couple of weeks, we're going to go to a friend's dacha. And They have an outside toilet there. They don't have running water, and that's how they live. I mean, okay, they're doing it in summer and springtime like now, but yeah, there is still a pension paid to Russians, to elderly Russians and things like that, and it depends on your retirement and things like that. I mean, there is systems in place to help people here. Definitely there is. Some people are happy how they live, and they've continued to live like that to this day. It's very hard to kind of explain that, I guess, being a non-Russian, but Mahala means thank you in Hawaiian. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mahala. Yes, like hello and thank you, isn't it? Mahala and aloha. And then Telekamiki Mocha. I'm going to get another one mixed up. I'm not sure about the language, that one there. I wanted to worry about, I suppose, people. Oh, I've just scrolled too quickly again. Damn it. Sorry, everybody. Baron's pronunciation it perfectly to Russian and the biggest 750 word book. Baron's pronunciation is perfectly in Russian. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Thank you. I think I've just skipped over here. A lot of people call YouTube a job. You just have to be consistent, and it is what I watch mostly. Yeah, I pretty much only watch YouTube now. I do watch some Australian TV shows that I download, and sport in English, because it's hard to watch sport in Russian. It's the same sport, but the commentary, like the Formula One tomorrow, the golf is on right now. I watch a lot of sport when I'm not watching YouTube, or I'm answering comments of the YouTube videos. So, thank you, Jeff. I wish you well. You seem nice. Thank you. I think I'm nice. I think, yeah, there we go. I think I did skip over quite a few bits here. Hawaii is an American treasure. Yes, I agree. Have you cruised to any African countries? No, I haven't. Yeah, I worked predominantly on Carnival Cruise Line, which pretty much sails mostly out of US ports. It did have 2 ships down in Australia for a while, but predominantly out of US ports. So no African cruising. Registration in Moscow is a nightmare. Everyone gets chilly feet when you ask for the signatures. Yes, I agree. When we were there on Wednesday, and I said this to my wife when we walked out, I said, we had every document, cross the I's, dot the T's, all this sort of thing. And there's still that tiny element of when he's flicking each page over to look, that there's one word wrong. And it was all okay. He did stamping, everything. And there's still that tiny element of something wrong, and you've got to come back again. And if we lived in the same suburb where our registration would be, it would be very easy. But the fact we live on the other side of Moscow to it makes it just crazy, Ramjet. I agree. I'm on the island of Oahu. Yes, Kahala Mall. And I went to the actual Sony Open when we were there too. I stayed for 2 weeks with my friend there, and I went to a couple of rounds of the golf, and I met Robert Allenby, the Australian golfer. That was the highlight of it. Hi, Russell. I do think you need more mods for your live stream. Take care of yourself. Oh, greetings, Karen and Buzz in Texas. Thanks for all the nice comments on the videos, by the way. I appreciate any nice comments, and I do try to answer every comment. Now I'm getting well behind, and it's near impossible. But I am trying to, so bear with me. How are things in Moscow now, 60 days after sanctions? I'm from Malaysia. Yeah, it's closer to 3 months now. On the 24th, technically it's 3 months, so 90 days. Look, going to the mall, I don't really go to the mall to go shopping, like to go to all the clothing stores. That video I did yesterday, I literally knew about it in the morning that these stores had reopened. I literally got on the bus, went straight to my local mall, which was Solaris, the first one. And I did have a plan to go to the second one. And then I kind of walked around the first one thinking, I don't really need to. And I thought, I'll get on the metro, go over there. It's about an hour on the other side of Moscow. I filmed in Avia Park. I'm not a big shopping mall person in terms of going window shopping and looking in all the shops. I go to the mall to buy what I need and go home. The Solaris, our local shopping center, which is very close to where Constantine lives as well. I go there a lot for the supermarket to go to Globus and then go to the food court when I go for food there. Yeah, I mean, having shops closed is not a good thing. I mean, they don't really affect me. Things that I would buy would be in other stores. Of course, prices going up is not good. What's affecting me, if you want to know 1,000%, is Coca-Cola is now essentially disappearing. It's still available. I bought this today, by the way. This is 900 milliliters. It's not a liter bottle. The 2-liter bottles now you can't find, or you can, but they've doubled in price. They're like gold bars. This smaller bottle still normal price. That's affecting me. I can't use my bank cards. Any non-Russian bank accounts can't be used here, so you can't pay for things. I couldn't book a hotel, couldn't book a flight. I can't use my Australian cards here at all, so that's a problem. It's really everyone's effect of, if you want to call it sanctions, is going to be different based on what they do. So, you know, I mean, what their job is, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Let's say, for instance, my wife does manicures. She has a salon in our building downstairs. That's where she works. So the cost of some of the supplies that she orders, like the files and the polishes and the lotions and creams and all sorts of things, have gone up. So her price for doing a manicure, pedicure had to go up. You know, no one's really questioned it because everyone's sort of like, oh, okay, no worries, I'll pay the higher price. So that's affected, you know, her industry. Anything she uses was primarily Russian products, or from Belarus. So just the cost increases have affected her. For me, my cards for the bank has affected me. You know, so there's kind of silly things have affected me. Honestly and truly, the fact that I can't just take my card and buy things really bothers me, like 1,000,000%. You know, and I've got to have cash pretty much anywhere I go now, or borrow money from my wife, sort of thing. So that's a problem. A lot of people call YouTube. Okay, so is it barbecue weather yet? Tony talks. Oh, this is my third cousin. Tony, there's someone in the chat I might have left already. That's from Leeds in Yorkshire, by the way. And I'm not sure exactly where you live in Yorkshire, but I think it's somewhere that area. Tony, I'm going to check your channel later. And if you haven't done your about page, if you've not done your playlists, I'm going to be sending a message to you on Facebook. It is barbecue weather. Yes, shashlik weather. I'm just looking. There's a guy that has a house just down from out my window here, and he's always doing every Saturday. He's not here yet. He normally comes very late on Saturdays and does a barbecue, and I can see it every Saturday. Yes, it's definitely shashlik weather. Shashlik is the traditional kind of barbecue here. We had one last Sunday. We went to a friend's mother's wake. You guys all know what a wake is, I think. And we had a shashlik barbecue. We had oh my God, the table of food. It was food and drinks and beer and alcohol and vodka, and there was even Jack Daniels on the table. It was crazy. Yeah, that was yeah, it's definitely the weather now. Today was a beautiful day here. I don't know what the temperature got to. It's now 12 Celsius at 9 o'clock at night. So you mean the roof? You have to live under the roof. I guess all of our landlords are very, very much different. He's the guy that holds your deposit after all. Yes. Yeah, when he came a couple of weeks ago, was it last month or the month before? He turned up and he was drunk, like literally drunk. And I know when he comes every month to pick up the money. I thought he drove here. And that day when he came, I think he came on the bus or the train from somewhere. And then I thought, because he said, oh, come with me. Like, because I was telling him I was going into Moscow. And I thought, oh my God, he wants to drive me there. And then he starts walking down the road towards the train station. And he was drunk. And my wife said to me after, he said, we're giving him the money. Hopefully he doesn't call the next day and forget, or maybe that he spent the money or went to another bar or something. So yeah, it's the roof of this apartment building. Yeah, we're on 10th level. The roof is on 14. So yeah, Constantine is a great man. He's someone I respect quite a lot. Yes, if you met him in real life, he is very much the same. His knowledge about anything and everything is just blows me away. It's kind of interesting when we walked around the shopping center. I did them little cutaways where I kind of did some things talking about things like there's a bit where I talked about the shopping trolley and, you know, how much shopping people had. And he's very interested in the bits that I mentioned to him to bring them up as part of the video because he wouldn't have thought of that sort of thing. I mean, I'm from a retail background, so yeah, he's just the same in real life. I'm going to say he's probably a little bit more relaxed. I think YouTube, obviously, there's a lot of caution about what he can and can't say and how he can word things. And same for me. You know, I take that precaution as well. Yeah, Dave Quinn, how's it going? Yeah, hello, Russell. Great to see all of your videos. Very good information. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Johnny FD is a little bit sus. Yeah. Warian, before the last few videos or the last 5 or 10 videos, I really liked him and I liked the content that he made. I think he made a few silly decisions about coming to and from Ukraine. I know he has a Ukrainian residency. I know he has apartments there. I know he makes his life there. But for him to come back and then leave and come back and leave, I think that's just taking the mickey a little bit. I just feel the last few videos, and then he's with the guy in the videos now, the other American guy, Dan. So sorry, everybody, to say this word, but the guy that he does the videos with, his name, if you want to Google it, Google Porno Dan for anyone that watches Johnny FD's videos. And that's the other American guy in the channel with him at the moment. And I think, or I believe, I agree with your statement. I'm going to say that. I've gone off him now at the moment because I just don't like now the type of videos he's making and the way he brings across the videos. Most Russian apartments seem to have terrible tile work. Tiles fall off, and it's always the tenant's fault. Yes, that's really down to the guy that did the construction of the apartment. You know, so you really have to get a nice, good builder who does your apartment. Yeah, because there's just shabby workmanship here, and there's no rules, certificates, laws, about things like that. So Constantine collaborate with Zangrib on videos. I hope you get as successful as Constantine. Oh, that would be nice. You really put a lot of work and effort into your videos. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do plan out them. I don't have a big plan, but I do know where I'm going, what I'm going to do. And it's definitely a part of the videos, you know, planning out a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is going way too much. My kids is the only foreign kid in a local kindergarten. Everyone thinks it's cool to have a Danish Russian kid in the group. The parents even try to greet me in English. Wow, that's really nice. Yeah, I know even in the town here, I think everybody knows that I'm Australian. Anywhere I go now, especially living here so long in this town, I think it's I think people think that's kind of cool as well. And can you speak Russian, Dave? No, I can't. And when I applied for residency, I had to take a test. Oh, but now I've been informed that it's a lot easier, especially that I had a Russian wife and child. Yes, if you have a Russian wife and if you have a child with a Russian wife, it's pretty much automatic, the visa. There's a lot less paperwork. If you're married, it's a little bit easier, and that's pretty much what I went through. The test that I had to sit, hopefully no one's listening to this. Don't listen to this part, the rest of the world. I sat the test. I nodded. There was a camera in the room. I put my head down. I move the pen about on the paper. So there's a written test, which is incredibly difficult. Even my wife couldn't answer some of the questions there was a question and answer section, written section. There was a multiple choice, but that was done. For the video interview, I did take some time to learn that, and then I went twice and didn't get through it. And then on the third time, there was some paper bills put in a box of chocolates, and I got the certificate of Russian language proficiency. So, yes. We do have free-to-air television. Yes, we do. We just basically plug it in and it works. We don't pay for additional channels. We could. It's about $10 a month for about a couple of hundred channels, depending on which one you choose. A fellow Russian who tries to help them. Okay. Stone the Crows drop the UKR subject. I'm not talking about it. I'm trying my best. Drop it. Vasi in the Hay. Yes. If anyone wants to watch a good YouTuber, well, a good YouTuber, I don't know him. He does very good things. I'm not sure where he lives. I should really watch his videos more carefully, but he does do very nice and good things. I totally agree. This guy, Vasi in the Hay. Pirate Craggy, Home and Away is not my favorite TV show. I used to watch Neighbours. I never watched hardly any Home and Away. I watched Neighbours till a lot of years ago, but now I'm watching Big Brother, by the way. I know there's a Big Brother in England and Ireland and things. There's an Australian series right now. And I think tomorrow, Saturday today. So tomorrow there's the next weekend's episode. By the way, I'm just missing here the super chats. I think they disappear from the screen, or I'm going too slow. There's between a dacha and a country house when you described with the outhouse and no running water is likely not a dacha. Yes. Craggy Neighbours. Definitely Neighbours. Yes, I agree. Do we have a dish on our balcony? We don't have one. No, I don't know. We just plug ours in the wall here, and I imagine it's from the building. This building here doesn't have like the million dishes on it like some of the older style buildings in Russia have. I'm not sure how it works. That we just plug it in and it works. There's actually there's a point right here in the kitchen, just above the computer here. But we don't have a TV in the kitchen here. In our old apartment, we had both apartments. We had TVs in our kitchen, but here we don't. So, Russell's a golfer. I know you were a cool dude. Off the top of your head, what's the best golf course you've ever? I don't play golf, honestly and truly. I've tried when I was in high school. I had a friend that was a golfer, and I tried and I couldn't play it. I've never played golf. I love watching it. I could watch it all day long and all night long. But I don't watch it. So Prisoner Cell Block H. This is like classic Australian television. You're gonna start mentioning thank you. I think I can't put the super chat up. I don't think it's there anymore. But yes, thank you. Pretty much your $5. Is it $5 super chat? Is the cost actually? This one's not $5. This is like $1.50, but the big 2-liter bottle now is close to $5 here. So yeah, thank you. Sorry, I should really be focusing on super chats when people put them up, but I miss them. I'm sorry. I'm kind of going through the chat as it happens here, so I think they disappear off the screen. Kvass is better for me. I know Kvass. I don't really like it. What about using any of your crypto wallets? I don't have any crypto wallets. A friend here tells me I should set one up and put like the link in the description of the videos. I'm not going to do that. I don't know really anything about crypto. I've got no intention of doing crypto. So, yeah, I've got a place in the future. Oh, there we go. So I hear the microwave lasagna is good. Yeah, actually, you mentioned that you can buy a lot of packaged food here, like pre-cooked food, and then you'd bring it home and microwave it. I've not had lasagna since I've been here. So, yes, I do love lasagna, but I've not had one since I've been here. So I feel bad about that, actually. Yeah, I'm becoming a real Russian carrying cash everywhere. Yeah, A plus Russian. Yeah, at that helicopter convention, I met the Thailand military there. They were talking in Thai when I was standing near them, and I asked them, you're from Thailand? Like, yeah. And this is where that photo on my community tab came about. The guy knew my channel, and I said, "Oh, are you looking to buy a helicopter?" They were from the Thailand military, the Navy, and the Army. There was the attaché from Thailand that came. And I was talking to the other guy, and I said, "Oh, are you planning to come buy some helicopters for the military?" He's like, "Oh, well, we can't at the moment because our Visa cards don't work, so they can't pay for things." And the guy was carrying a briefcase, and I said, "Oh, I wonder if that's full of Russian rubles then, or Russian or US dollars, in his bag." And he just laughed about it. So yeah, I don't like A plus. I don't like carrying cash everywhere. I wish I could just have a card and make it easier, but Craggy, I need to get a barbecue fund started. Yes, there's a lot of funds, but yeah. Warranty 1 year when one wants to live on a roller coaster. I love lasagna. Yes, Bearbull. Can I come to your house and have lasagna? My sister at home makes a very nice lasagna. My dad, if you ask my dad what's his favorite foods, he'll say like my sister's lasagna, not my mum's one, what he would cook for him, but my sister's one. Sasha Koo, how's it going? Greetings from Malaysia. From a Malaysian in France, found your channel this week alongside Inside Russia. Oh, thank you for coming over to the channel. I hope you like the content that I make. Malaysian in France. Wow. There's French bakeries here in Moscow. Again, if anyone's Russian in the chat, there's French, and it's actually called French Bakery on the outside. It's like one of the few, isn't it called French Bakery? The French bakeries, right? There's a Malaysian who lives in France, and they have French bakeries here in Moscow, and they got very nice sandwiches and coffee and cakes. And they got Russian ancestry, but I'm a proud American mutt. Okay. Just found your channel very interesting. Correct. Grant Riggs, just found your channel very interesting. Listening to your life and current situation in Russell. Stay safe, and we'll keep watching. Regards to you and your wife. Thanks, Grant. Yes, thank you. I know it's very weird that I'm kind of saying thanks to a screen, but it's very nice. 62 likes. I'm just looking over at my other screen here. Thanks for the likes, everybody. And I kind of like this where there's a bit of a scrolling chat, so it's kind of nice to kind of go through that. That's cool. Okay, thanks, Russell. Hopefully everything will be fine. Be safe. By the way, I don't drink Coke. Yes, eventually I won't be able to once it's not available here. It's kind of working its way down in the size of bottles. So now pretty much any normal shop doesn't have the 2-liter bottles. From small shops, you can still find it, but they put the price up so much, it'll never sell out. So yeah, there was one lady today had it for 250 rubles, like $4 or $5 for a bottle of Coke. So she'll never sell them. So, Bearbull, thank you. Yes, hurry, buy more Coke. Thank you, Bearbull. Yeah, we've actually this is the one I bought, or there's another one. My wife, when I woke up this morning, there was one sitting on the table here. So my wife must have gone before I got up out of bed this morning to bring me a bottle of Coke. So, what happened there? That went crazy. Greetings, Maria Aurelia channel. Oh, like waving and hellos from, I guess, ID. Is that Indiana, I guess? Unless it's Indonesia or Indiana. On the StreamYard that I use, I can't see the icons like you can see on the normal chat. So know about Dan and Johnny. There is a vid on Instagram. Okay, yeah, I don't really like. Honestly, Maz, just talking about Johnny FD there, I don't like some of the videos he made recently where he was, sorry everybody, he was like peeing on one of the tanks. And I think no matter who it is or what happened to that situation, that's not called for, honestly and truly. And I just things that he does in the videos just puts me off watching him and watching his content. So, hurrah! There you go, hurrah from ID. Would be great if you get to the Space Museum. Yeah, I've been to the Space Museum, Maz. I've not done a video there. There's the one right there by Videnha. I really should probably go there just for another walk around, just to reminisce. It's very neat, that Museum of Aeronautics. The one that I forgot the name of the person there in Korolov mentioned. I'll have to look that one up if that's maybe a different one. How long have you actually lived in? Have you actually lived here? In total, since meeting my wife the very first time, it's been 9 years. I have come and gone every year, twice a year, back to work and then back to Russia. This is the longest sort of time now, 8 months consecutively. We were in Australia for a year and a half when COVID sort of shut everything down from the cruise ships. So Jen came to Australia, I came home from cruise ships. And living in Perth, that was pretty much the only city in the whole world that wasn't locked down. And we weren't wearing masks. Everything was free. Essentially, the border was closed. The airport was closed. The train stations were closed. Australia being an island, essentially it was closed. So, so on and off for 9 years total. So I do think Johnny FD has good intentions, but never mind. I think you said it well. Yes. Right. I think that too. I'm just not too sure about, doing this whole fundraising thing and raising money. The next video, he's driving a Porsche. I mean, I know obviously there's different avenues and streams of what maybe he earns or how he earns and stuff. My channel is nowhere near the numbers that he's got on his channel. So, yeah, the good intentions part I agree with. Oh, barbecue fun starter. There is no microwave. I want beer and meat bought with this. Actually, Craggy, listen to this. Tomorrow, I'm going to a barbecue fest. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm meeting another YouTuber who most people don't know. What's her? Oh, Real Moscow Projects. I think she's been in some of the previous live streams before. And we're going tomorrow to is it right here? Sorry, everybody. I'm just going to look at this. Just chat amongst yourselves. She sent me the link. I know where I've got to go because we're meeting at 1:00 tomorrow at the barbecue fest. Oh, she sent a lot of messages. Where is it? Oh, Russian Grill Fest. Oh, that's where we're going tomorrow. Sorry for the shaky hand. Russian Grill Fest. So your £10 super chat will pay for lunch. I think I'm going to have many lunches tomorrow. I'm curious what they've got set up. It's a huge. It's kind of a grill fest. I keep calling it a barbecue fest. So that's where we're going tomorrow to meet some friends. Real Moscow Projects and her partner. He's right into this. Salamat malam. The kabar bagus. I think you're Indonesian, Maria. When I was at the mall, the Europiski Mall, if you watch that video, I did briefly walk through the food court in it. I didn't really stop there. I actually stopped for Burger King. Sorry, everybody. And there was a couple of guys talking English, and one was from somewhere in Africa. He just said Africa. He didn't mention it, then he just said Africa. He corrected that where he was from. And the other guy was from Indonesia, from Jakarta. I should have got his phone number, really, but I never thought about it at the time. So, Holland Place. Good to Hayland Place. I guess that's like a hello. I don't know. Thanks, everybody, for any kind of chat you're doing, by the way. I really appreciate the chat and the comments. Thumbs up. 63 thumbs up. I wonder if we'll get to 100. Let's see. We've got a little bit longer to go, but have you heard of Patrick Lancaster? If so, I'm sure people would be interested to hear your opinion on him. I have watched his videos. I don't watch all his videos. He's very full on. I'm going to say he's very full on. He's now, just to be blunt, he does mention a lot about liking, subscribing, sharing. I'm privately funded. And talking about fundraising and being a channel member, or I don't know what he's asking for money and things like that. I don't like that at all in his videos, honestly and truly. He's very full on, like he's I don't know how to say it. He's got I guess you could say that he's got good intentions in the videos he makes. They do sort of come across a little bit one-sided. I guess you could say that about Johnny FD's sort of experience in showing some things as well. He's showing, I guess you could say the word, the Ukrainian side. Patrick Lancaster shows a little bit the other side. And obviously there is two sides, right? I mean, clearly. I don't really like him. I think he's a bit too full on for me in terms of watching his content. Maybe people think I'm full on. I hope not, but yeah, it's good content that he's there, put it that way. Especially people that have lived there, do live there. They've not just gone there just to make content. Where people are from there, that's where they live, or that region or district, and then it just happens to become part of their channel. Then, that's all, so be it, right? I mean, I'm in Russia. It's just the time and place and things like that. I was sort of setting this channel up to do content similar to what I've really done, really. It was mostly just going to be general tours of shopping centers and places and things, and, things that I find interesting. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers your answer. Salamat hara. Salamat pagi. They have a large dish with multi-outlets unless it is a cable television. Yeah, we can get streaming services. So we can pay. Actually, our internet provider has one. We just noticed now. We didn't know that. You can pay like a package to get the internet and the television channels. My wife is trying another one out at the moment. It's $10 a month for mostly movie channels she wants to watch, just movies. And then we're trying to find one that's got movies with English dubbing, so you can watch it in English or Russian rather than subtitles. Yeah, there's free-to-air television that is VHS, UHF, terrestrial too. If you put a dish with it, gosh. Yeah, I don't know how many channels we have. I think we've probably got about 50, I guess, normal channels. We don't do any of the other things you're mentioning. Skippy. Yes, that's one of my nicknames from working on cruise ships, by the way. Hayland Place. There's very few people that would know that, apart from people that worked on cruise ships more than 10 years ago. That was one of my nicknames, and it still is on some ships. That's my nickname on cruise ships. Skippy, if anyone doesn't know around the world, it was a TV show called Skippy. So if anyone knows the TV show Lassie, think of that. But think of a kangaroo instead of a dog. And that's Skippy, the Australian TV show. Maybe put Skippy into YouTube and watch a video about it. It's kind of interesting. I love that. Shall Skippy? Yes, Skippy the bush kangaroo. Yes, sorry, I'm reading the comments in order. So yes, Skippy. I'm back in Russia, July. Smolensk region. Have to wait for my son to finish his school term in England. We'll be traveling to Moscow on a few times. Oh, Dave. Yeah, if you want to look me up, and we can maybe meet up at some point, if I should still be here. If anyone wants to look me up on Telegram, by the way, I've got a group that I've tried to create. It's only got 8 people in it. It's called Traveling with Russell, obviously. But at Russell Otway, that's my last name, Russell Otway. I think there's a link in the description if anyone wants to look me up on Telegram. It's basically the chat app that I use here in Russia. But if anyone's got it as an app on their phone, it's encrypted and things like that. So that's mostly why it's used a lot here. Air dryers are the thing. Air dryers, yeah. That's how you dry all your clothing here. Everyone's got one of those IKEA air dryers to dry all their clothes. Everybody's got one on their balcony in Russia. Yeah, there's free-to-air television that's terrestrial in Moscow from community antennas on the roof. Yeah, I think that's maybe what we have, I guess. That's probably the communal one. I know that we just switch it on and it works. So, yeah, if we put it on our balcony, we add hundreds more channels. Yes. Oh, I've gone too fast. Yeah, we aren't going to do that. Well, not at this apartment. I don't know. At our apartment that we rent out, I'm pretty sure it's not there either. That's a newer building too. Pretty much the newer buildings don't tend to allow them to be installed mostly. In the older buildings, they kind of look like an eyesore because everybody's got one. It's hard keeping up with the conversation. Yeah, I guess I've got to be quicker with my answers. If you want, you could get a motorized dish. Can you get a decent curry in Moscow? We like Thai curries. I guess Thai kind of food. I'm not really into Indian curries. On the cruise ships, I used to eat them a lot because there was a pretty common thing in the mess. There isn't virtually any Indian restaurants here. At Solaris Mall, which if you watch yesterday's video, there is one little Indian curry place in there. But it's not Indian guys working there. So probably not. Does Glee like eating dried fish? Jenya. Does Jenya like eating dried fish? Jenya is my wife. Yeah, it's Yevgenia with an E, but Jenya or Jen is her name, but with a J. So she does occasionally. I guess mostly when you drink beer or have food. Like if you go to someone's house and they've got a table of food and things. We don't tend to buy it and eat it in the house here. I don't like it, but it's more of a snack. You can buy it just as a snack. I'm flying to Istanbul, then to Moscow. Yes, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I wonder if you're going to fly to Vnukovo because that's where Turkish Airlines predominantly flies into. Yeah, Istanbul to Moscow. I heard importing will be allowed of Western goods from China, so maybe that will include Western brand foods. Yeah, I don't think it's a big loss of all these Western brand foods. In the supermarket, it probably is 5% of all the things in the supermarket. There is very little Western brand food in the supermarket. I mean, if you were to walk around there now or into Globus or, there's very little influence of Western things in the supermarkets, honestly and truly. Greetings from Straya. Mega Dunsprus. I wonder if that's your last name, Dunsprus. Mega Dunsprus. Yes. And we have new Prime Minister today, Anthony Albanese. I didn't look up most of the WA results, so I'll have to see if Madeline King was my member for where I was living in Rockingham, or Brand is the electorate there. Oh, Brian, how's it going? Oh, a long-time follower of the channel as well. Thank you. Lots of new people today, so it's a lot of people to keep up with and see regular names here. So, Helen, please. Yeah, Indonesia, yeah. Plus, I have a Belarus visa, so I could fly Istanbul, Belarus at extra flying time. Right, yeah, it's a little bit more out your way. You'll have to go to another hockey game soon. Yeah, I went to a couple. I should have made a video. I so wish I made a video. I went with an Australian guy who's also from Perth. He's back in Ireland now. And I don't know why I didn't make a blog about going because, yeah, I kind of like, I've done a couple of, I have to put a link to the older vlogs on my other channel, on my cruise channel. I like cruise ships. If anyone wants to join that channel, I don't post too much now at the moment, but there is some Indonesian. There is some Indonesian vlogs, and there's some Russian videos I made on that channel where I did more vlogging things. So I went to the football, I went to Moscow Center, I went to Moscow City. Yeah, I like going to the hockey, and it's cheap tickets too. It's like not even $8 or $10 for a lot of the normal tickets to go to the ice hockey. Hello from Abu Dhabi. Oh, Mark, how's it going? Good to see you. Abu Dhabi. People from everywhere today. I love it. I love it. You are spot on about unnecessary content. You're a gentleman, says this old lady. Thank you. Say that, Karen, a lot. This old lady. Please don't put yourself like that. It's you're from Texas. My last cruise ship was Galveston. I flew home from Houston when the cruise ships basically shut down at the start of the COVID shutdown, when all the ships stopped sailing. We had about 2 extra weeks with no guests, and then we were slowly all flown home. So yeah, Galveston and Seawall Boulevard, Walmart in Galveston Island is our favorite place. Oh, the one in Korolov is Roscosmos. You have to book time to get in, and you will have a guided tour with employees of Roscosmos. Oh, now I want to go to that. Really, I do. That would be cool if there's a guided tour that goes there. A couple of weekends ago, we went to Patriot Park here, which is closer to where we live, this region. That was very neat. I want to go back there because my wife is not into seeing tanks and the museum that we went to, but I could go back and spend another day there walking around. So 9 years is a long time. Yes, you are basically an honorary Russian now. Good to see you, Traveling Russell. Got to go see you. Yeah, bye. If you've left or not, I don't know, but I consider myself 95% Russian. That's what I say to everybody, and people laugh about that. So barbecue. Oh, thank you, Craigie, for £5 super chat. Barbecue Fest burgers, nice one. Enjoy, matey. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot because I love this this barbecue shashlik things that they do here, and to do it with a couple of nice people as well when I meet them tomorrow. I've met them before, so I'm looking forward to that, seeing them there. I'm gonna go somewhere else in the morning, hopefully, and make a different video. I'm planning out videos a little bit ahead now, and then I'm meeting up with them. So yeah, this will be towards the barbecue fest. Grill fest. They're calling it a grill fest. Your views are very well thought through, in my opinion, especially after your opinion of Peter Lancaster. Thanks. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be very transparent, everybody. I'm always going to tell you truths and honesty, and especially from my opinion of things and the way I like things and what I don't like, and say it how it is. I mean, I can't say certain things. I think everybody knows that in Russia at the moment. And I don't want to bring that into the way I bring live streams across, but yeah, I think there's another guy, by the way, Warren. If you want to watch Graham Phillips, Graham Phillips, it's another guy that's lived in that region of Russia in Ukraine for a lot of years. Graham Phillips, maybe look him up. Maybe worth watching his content as a comparison to Patrick Lancaster. Hello from England. Come across your channel when I was watching Constantine. Hope life gets better soon. Yes, thank you. Oh, Paul Lewis, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, my dad's. We were talking a bit earlier about Yorkshire, and my dad's a true Yorkshireman. Eggs, beans, and chips all the way. Can't take the Englishman out of him in Australia, no chance. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, Constantine and I are very good friends. We chat a lot. Well, chat daily on social media and things like that. So. Yeah, we want to do another video together now. I'm curious if the video we did will reach 1 million views before his other video will. So yeah, cool. Are all the Western streaming services banned in Russia now? Well, Facebook is not working. Instagram's not working. Twitter's not working. LinkedIn has really not worked for a lot of years. That doesn't work either. YouTube ads don't work if I'm in Russia, so that's pretty good. I've got free YouTube Premium as a Russian, using a Russian internet to connect to YouTube, because I could be considered a Russian viewer. There is no ad revenue from Russian views now on YouTube. So if you have a Russian channel with Russian subscribers and viewers, you're essentially earning nothing. And then as I'm watching YouTube from inside Russia, I don't see any of the ads anymore, which is perfect. But yeah, not having YouTube, having all of these things, YouTube does work. There is talk about it not going to work because I think Google is going to leave Russia, but they're leaving some of the servers are still working. I think like Gmail, YouTube, I think some of the Play Store things like that still work. So that's good. Yeah, you can use them all with VPNs, by the way. We're not cut off. This is one thing that I want to be honest about. I have a VPN on my computer here that I can use Facebook. I don't really personally use Instagram. I don't really use Twitter. I've just installed a VPN on my phone now, so I can use Facebook when I'm out and about. Pretty much whenever I'm on the train or the bus, I use Facebook. That's about it, really. So they do work. Oh, new friend. Oh, Yam Carlo. Pleased to meet you. I'm not sure where you're from, but good to see you. I think I've gone too fast now. Skippy the Bush. Have I gone too fast? Love Skippy. Oh, there you go. You guys know Skippy. What service do you have for English sub television in Moscow? I used to have Mia Gogo, but since they are based in Kiev, no go. I'm looking for a replacement. Yeah, we. I forgot what the name of the thing is that my wife's using. Peter, honestly, I can't remember the name of the one that my wife uses now. I don't know what it is. They're not that great because not every, especially for movies, there's no English like news channels or sport channels on there. But the movies, we're trying to get a perfect one that's got all the movies that can be in English. But otherwise, I just download from torrents. Sorry, everybody, that I download. But if anyone watched the movie Ambulance, very good movie. That was the last movie we watched. And my wife was crazy into it. She loved it. We watched every second of it, like on the edge of the bed watching it. We watched it in bed watching that movie. So, hair dryers for food. Leave a link to Telegram, please, below. Gosh, I don't know how to do that. I can't do two things at once unless I slow down on the chat a little bit. Russell, do you have a disguise dish? They literally disappear from a ground view. Yeah, we're not really bothered about the different satellite televisions here, honestly. We can use the... when I was paying for my internet last month, I went to the office to pay for it, and they've got the payment thing there for the internet, but it's through the streaming. So basically, you're watching it's an app on your television through a smart television. That's what we were doing. Evie is the name of the one that my wife was using before. It's Evie was the name. So it's all about Western tech and clothes that they want. Yeah, you can still get iPhone, Samsung shops are all open. All of the electronic stores still have all products. The one thing about Apple, which we when Constantine and I were at the mall, he went in because he's just bought recently an Apple laptop, and the warranty is not covered now in Russia. So you can't basically get the Apple Care connected. You can buy a laptop, but then you can't get the Apple Care and the aftercare service. You've only got the traditional warranty of the Apple product, like the 1-year manufacturer warranty, but any of the Apple Care things you can't get. So that kind of doesn't help. Tusok, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, Pirate Craggy, thank you again for the super chat. Thank you, everybody. I'm invested in this microwave idea. Can you expect a live stream unboxing and maiden voyage of the cooking of a cup of noodles or something and a review? Hearts from Ireland, mate. We are going to when we buy this microwave, I'm going to make the video about us going to buy it and bringing it home. I don't know about an unboxing, but definitely it'll be a lasagna and a ding for that video. Yes, that will definitely. There is an absolute plan of making the video about getting the microwave. Is it Peter? I think it is, right? Thank you for the $20 super chat or super sticker. Is it Peter? I think, right? Al Grek von Prussian. Sorry to mangle your name. Thank you for the super chat. And how's it going? And I see lots of comments from you from the videos as well. So thanks for the comments on the videos. Barbecue season is not a thing in Russia. Russians do shashlik all year round. That's very true. In winter, we've done them, especially at our friends here in Aprelivka. Yeah, it's very true. You can do shashlik anytime. Obviously, living in apartments is more difficult, but if you live in a traditional house, we've got some friends nearby that live in a traditional house, and they do shashlik all year round. The whole season thing, it's obviously easy to do, and it's nice weather, though. And that's the same in Australia. You know, you'll tend to do a barbecue in summer more than in winter. I like some of the bevies. Oh, Chris, how's it going? Zenko, good to see you in the live stream. I love some of the bevies that they have in Russia. I'm not really into all. I do drink beer, but I'm not really into all the different types of beer here. There's a million. If I go downstairs, we've got a beer shop in our apartment here. And again, when I make that video eventually of our apartment building, I'll go in there. Krasny Beer or Red and White is the name of the store. What part of Yorkshire? Leeds, Bradford. I've done it again. No, I haven't. I've scrolled past the scroll. Yeah, Gomersall, Cleckheaton, West Yorkshire. Saturday Night Live. Yes, thanks. I realized that when I put it. Much love and respect, my brother from New York City. The Big Apple. Yes, I love New York. My wife wants me to take it. She wants to go to New York as well. She wants to go to Central Park because she's seen it on TV so much. I've cruised out of New York a lot, so I know very well Midtown Manhattan there, 50th and West Side Highway. And B&H Photo. If I could go anywhere right now, I'd go to B&H Photo. It's a camera store there. Hoping to visit Melbourne next year to see my sister and family. If you know the city, any tips? I'm from Perth. I'm from the other side of the country. I've been to Melbourne literally just a few times. Melbourne is very multicultural. I'll give you that. They're really into their sport. So hopefully, whatever time you're going to go there, try to get to the MCG, which is the Melbourne Cricket Ground. They do have football in winter, cricket in summer. You can do a tour of the stadium too. Also, the tennis is there in January, the Australian Open tennis. So depending on when you're going to go there, try and go see some sport if you can. Big coffee culture in Melbourne. There's a lot. It's very ethnic as well, Melbourne. There's a lot of European influence in Melbourne. Big coffee culture there. People love their coffees and takeaway coffees. Do you plan to stay living there if things get worse or moving back to Australia? Unknown. Ooh, good to see you, unknown. Sorry. We don't, at the moment, we have our short-term plan is to stay here. My wife was going through some medical issues. That's pretty much why we came back here. She had a surgery right when she immediately came back. She's still doing some medications, still seeing a couple of specialist doctors for something that she had done. She's had some dental work done. She's sort of finished all the dental side of all that now that she couldn't get done in Australia. So our short term, which was pretty much a year or two, that was the short term of staying here. If things, like you say, get worse and bad and we would get on the plane and leave, literally. We are not essentially committed to living here. We could basically end our lease and get on the plane and go. Maybe a little bit of organizing with things we own here and things like that. But at the moment, we're not planning to leave. So what is a shashlik that you have in Russia rather than barbecue? Shashlik is like meat on a skewer. So if you can think of like a long metal skewer, very sharp, and chunks of meat. So pork or beef, or you can not really fish, and vegetables. Think of like a skewer with different vegetables and meats, and you put them in a kind of a, depends on the barbecue. You might have a flat barbecue or I don't know the name of it. I think it's a Kazakhstan, like a type of top-down barbecue. Watching from, I've just done it again. Watching from California, Pamela, good to see you. LA is a nice spot. I want to just go there just to go to the theme parks. I've been already, but actually, really, if I ever go back to LA, I just want to go see a Lakers game. I think that's just like the absolute tourist thing to do. Of course, I would have wanted to see Kobe play, but that's gone now. We'd love to see a collab with you and Johnny FD. That would be epic. Monsieur Mike. Yeah, look, I think based on a lot of his content, I'm fairly sure he won't come to Russia. Really and truly. Just the way he acts about it. And I don't know if he doesn't know some of the long-term history between Russia and Ukraine. But he, like someone just mentioned, he has good intentions. I mean, I just don't want to be a part of the way he's making his videos at the moment, because it just doesn't come across that I couldn't do that kind of video that he's doing. So love your videos. Thank you. Whole cent. Thank you. Thank you. I want to see the microwave now. I don't have the microwave here. So we are planning to get one. This super chat thing is kind of a bit of a thing that's sort of stuck with it. So the price of microwaves have gone up, by the way, not to be talking about that, but especially the non-Russian made ones, or the ones that are not from Belarus or from Armenia or wherever they're making them, like where you want the kind of nicer brand ones, the price have jumped a bit. I would do a collaboration with Bald and Bankrupt any day of the week. I'd love just to meet him. Just the fact that he's an English guy. He's so well traveled in this part of the world. I mean, he speaks Russian. He understands a good amount about Russia and the former Soviet Union. He's been here a lot of years before everything happened back in the 90s. So, yes, that would be very cool. Russell, a legend. Sorry for the caps. Read the microwave. Thank you. Thank you, Pirate Craggy. I actually read a story on CNN yesterday talking about Ireland and the Ukrainian, I guess, refugees that have come to Ireland, and how some of them have been taken in by some, I guess, more wealthier Irish people and families. And there's one, the story actually, I think it was on CNN, is about a lady and kids who are living in a castle. And then they've kind of got an opposite story where there's people living in kind of like dormitory accommodation, and how the Irish government has fast-tracked the visa system for them, whereas some of the refugees, I guess, or immigrants that have come from Afghanistan, Syria, all these places, not been given that same opportunity. And it's a very interesting story on CNN about this and about Ireland and the way they've tried to accommodate this new situation, but maybe they've failed in the past with their immigration policies, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could send him a message here. It's on I think he does Instagram. I've seen he's got Instagram photos. Pretty sure he may never get in contact with me. I'm sure he gets a million messages a day. Yeah, I don't think. I love my brick. New York City is legendary. Yes. Some very beautiful parts of Yorkshire. Yeah, the Yorkshire Dales and I guess the Yorkshire Moors. My dad always talks about the Bouncing Betty. If you know what that is. I won't talk about more about it, but if you know what the Bouncing Betty is. The last movie you watched was The Batman. Yeah, I've not watched it yet. I probably should download it and watch it. I'm not a big Batman kind of fan. I like if you watch Ambulance, which is kind of like a bank robbery, action, shoot 'em up movie. I like that kind of movie. And I like Meet the Fockers, just to give you an opposite side of that. So, don't say Leeds Bradford. That's a sin. It's just Leeds. Gummersall is a village near Morley. Yes, Batley, Cleckheaton. Yes. My mum worked at Burnley's mill in Gummersall. I think it was in Gummersall when she was living there. There was asked before, what is the issue with being able to work cruises now? And if you went to work, would you have trouble getting back into Russia? Okay, so Karen, I have the Russian residency visa, which is what I was kind of been doing for quite a lot of months. That would allow me to basically fly out of Russia and fly back into Russia. No problems. So obviously the key would be to get flights through Europe, Turkish Airlines, through the Middle East. Qatar Airways flies here. Emirates flies here. Etihad flies here. I'm pretty sure some of the Chinese airlines do as well. Air India. So a lot of the favored countries with Russia still have flights in and out. There is international flights every day coming in and out of Russia. Things haven't just been shut down. Obviously, there's a lot of sanctioned countries where they've stopped flying to Russia, but with Turkish Airlines, you can fly through Istanbul to Europe and connect and go on. So yeah, no worries with that. So now I've got my visa, I can come and go. That was what I was really waiting on. I didn't want to leave and then not come back. So I needed the visa finished, approved in my passport. So now I'm basically just following up about getting my medical renewed. That needs to be redone every 2 years. You need a valid medical. Obviously, being away from ships for that long, mine's now elapsed. So yeah, my wife wants me to go back and do another contract. She said, look, if you're not happy staying here, get on the plane and go and do a contract on the ships and so on. I'm not so bothered to go back, honestly and truly, but I guess for the sake of making videos, it would be good. Would I earn more money? Probably not really. In terms of what you earn on ships is not a lot of money. So does your wife have only a Russian passport? Yes, she does only have a Russian passport. She has Australian residency. We did that, 3 years ago now, 3 years ago. So she has full living rights in Australia. Basically, that's an electronic visa that attaches to her Russian passport. She can then get an Australian passport about 3 years from now. I don't know what the time frame of that is, Rochelle. I think it's 2 years or 3 years after the second stage. She's gone through the first and second stage of her Australian visa. So she now has full residency to Australia. So we talked about it literally a couple of days ago that she wants to get her Australian passport at some point. She's actually just at the moment renewing her Russian passport. That's another carry on as well. Because we've got to go back to the same office where I got my visa from to get her passport done. So she's got to go back next month to get the fingerprints and photos, then the month later to pick it up. We did everything online, but it's not as online here as what it's made out to be. Did you have any get a Moscow driver's license? My RW did the $100 in a box of chocolates for hers without any sort of test. Zhenya wants to get her Russian license so that she can drive a car in Australia. We were going to do lessons in Australia, but it was difficult to find a Russian driving teacher in Australia. So she is planning to get, that was one of the other goals of being here, was to get her Russian driver's license. She will go through it the normal, proper way, not the box of chocolates sort of trick. Probably if I want to get my Russian license, I have an international license, so I can get car sharing here. I wouldn't want Jen to do the $100 in a box of chocolates trick. I might have to do that for mine, though, because based on all the paperwork palaver of it. So thank you for the tips. As a Welshman in Spain, happy with multiculturalism and love my sport. Sounds like I'll be okay. Best of luck with you and yours. Thanks, David. Yeah, please, depending on what time of year you're going, if you've got family there, I mean, definitely there's soccer or football. Sorry. Welshman in Spain, yeah, football to you guys. Definitely see what time of year you are there and then see what sporting events are going on. And definitely try and make it some sporting events. It would be pretty neat. Apple products are overrated. Give me a pair any day. Thanks, Monster. Yeah, I have a Samsung phone. Samsung shops are all open. Since I've ever owned it, I've never had any issue with my phone. Ever. Everyone loves a good unvac. I love my Apple 13. Yeah, I don't have Apple products at all, so everyone loves a good unboxing. Yes, unvac. Yeah, I guess I can do that. I could do that with the microwave. Barbecue season is about to start here in New York City. Oh, nice. CNN needs to keep its nose out. Yeah, I guess talking about the Irish situation with that, yeah, that's a little bit full on. I mean, I guess there's never going to be a correct or right immigration policy for any country. I think it's always going to be a indifference in the policies, you know. So, oh, hello from Murmansk. Oh, wow, you're really on the other side of the world. Well, other side of Russia. Wow, Nelly, pleased to meet you. Здравствуйте. Моя зовут Russell. I think you know that part. So, Heineken is my go-to for a cold brewski. Yeah, you can still get Heineken here. It's everywhere. Funny enough, they were meant to have the Champions League match in St. Petersburg, and all of the beer shops here and all the supermarkets that have got Heineken at the moment have all of the Heineken Champions League logoed cans of beer. So obviously they pulled out of playing the match here, but all the breweries that made all the beer have got all the logos on it. So it's kind of funny to see that. Majority of Americans don't take CNN seriously. I like Sanjay Gupta. I think he's very good on CNN. And what's the other guy? That's the reporter that's always, he was a big deal during Hurricane Katrina. Sorry guys, he's the white guy with like the blondie short hair. I forgot his name. He's a very good reporter on CNN. I don't know his name. Sorry, everybody. See that your guest think a lot of Western governments have made the same mistake. Refugees, tricky situation. Normally they are tricky times for all. Yes, Pirate Craggy. Yeah, it's right. This is the one thing, even with Australia, talking about that, you know, that there was a big issue with issuing visas for Ukrainians to come to Australia. The embassy had moved to Lviv, and then a lot of people who ended up in Poland had to go to the embassy in Poland. And initially, they just gave people visitors visas to go to Australia. Okay, it's automatic for most people with the documents, you know. And then all these Ukrainians were upset that, you know, well, I can come to Australia, but then what? I'm just here on a holiday, I can't do nothing. And then they were upset that the Australian government wasn't going to fly them to Australia and pay the ticket. And when they get off the plane, what's available to me? There's nothing. You know, I mean, I think Australia's issued something like 4,000 or 6,000 visas, which is an insane amount. And apparently, like, I don't know, let's call it 1,000 people have turned up. And I guess that's only people that maybe have got family in Australia that could go through the process and make it work. But a lot of them just haven't gone because it's not going to be easy for them to be in Australia once they arrive, you know. So CNN sucks. News channels report whatever makes news. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, New York City, love you back. Yeah, love New York City. Yes. I was in 2018 in Russia. Spent 1 month there, did a lot of bird watching on my visit. Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, 2018 was the World Cup. I've never been out bird watching. We go walking in the parks in Moscow. You can definitely hear birds tweeting everywhere. That's a big thing. So, hello from Chicago. Where's that one just gone? Dawn. Good to see you, Dawn. Bon ami. Pleased to meet you too, Nelly. Yes. Здравствуйте. Thank you. I'm a little bit clawed up now more. Yeah, Heineken wanted to leave Russia. Same with Carlsberg. Yeah, Carlsberg's everywhere in every bar, every beer shop here. Heineken is definitely everywhere. Actually, I've seen a lot of Corona too recently. But it's about $3 a bottle, 150 ruble, well, maybe $2. Depends on dollars. US dollars, it's about $2 a bottle, 150 rubles for a Corona bottle. Actually, I drink Stella when I have beer, so yeah, we have White Nights in Murmansk. Yeah, you guys have got that never-ending, like the night and a never-ending day. Anderson Cooper, yes. Oh, you guys have all corrected me here. Yeah, they don't take Fox seriously either. I think you mean Anderson Cooper. Yeah, Chris and Lady Janice Justice. Lady Justice. Yeah, Anderson Cooper. Yeah, I really do. I think I've caught up. Look at that. Anderson Cooper. Yeah, he actually, I watched him. I didn't watch. I don't know who she was, or I just came up on my YouTube feed. there was a lady that had Anderson Cooper in her apartment in Ukraine, wherever he was in that town, and he was in there in the kitchen having tea, and the lady was like showing the camera crew that obviously came to maybe film her for an interview, and he was just sitting there on the kitchen table in her apartment. I don't know her channel name. Sorry about this, but maybe there's a thing if you put Anderson Cooper came to my house or something in Google, in YouTube. But it was super neat. You could just see it wasn't him that you see from the TV show. It was like the Anderson Cooper that just sits in your kitchen. You know, he was just sitting on the like right behind me. He'd be sitting there in the video that I watched, and he was in Ukraine doing an interview with the lady. I think she must document her life in Ukraine. And it was just nice to see like that real side of him. And I know that's what he is in real life, right? He's from watching him back when they had Hurricane Katrina and these sort of videos that he made. Gary, by the way, yeah. So Gary is one of our channel members. Everybody, there is a channel membership option for the channel if anyone does happen to join. I am trying to sort of put out extra content or channel member only community posts and give early access to the videos. I'm not doing an amazing job of it, but I am trying to do more things for channel members. So yeah, there is so far 2 channel members. So there's yourself, Gary, and I should really know the name of the other channel member. Chris Frick. So channel Gary and Chris, thank you for being channel members. I did notice, let me just press this button and then this button. I did notice that there is an option to do subscriber only subscriber only live streams, but also subscriber only commentary in the chat like this. But I don't think we haven't got enough people yet to force that to happen. So I guess I should probably switch it on so people have to join the channel. I get my news on Newsy. Thanks, mate, for explaining. Welcome, Monsieur. Yes, any questions that people have, I'll definitely give you my answer, you know. There are all kinds of local and craft beers all over the place in Russia. Do you really need international industrial beer? Peter, I'm sorry. Yes, I used to drink Corona on the cruise ships. This is because of cruise ships, really, because our crew bar on the ships was $1 a beer. No matter what they charged the guests, it was still $1 for crew. And I drank Corona forever. Then they had an issue with where you put the lime or the lemon or lime into the Corona. Once that goes in the glass bottle, essentially it can't be recycled because the food and the glass mix. So they can't recycle the bottle. So they stopped serving Corona in a bottle to people on the cruise ships and pour it into a glass. And I just don't drink beer like that. So especially, I drink tap beer in a glass, but not bottle beer in a glass. If that makes sense. So I switched to Stella because that was still bottle beer. I don't drink aluminium can beers. I know that's a big deal in Russia, but I don't drink it like that. So, VT Brian, hello, a new subscriber from Vermont. Oh wow, up on the east coast of America. I was gonna actually point out the subscribers on the channel. Well, not everybody, but we're at 4763 subscribers. I have it pulled up on my other screen. Actually, we can do screen sharing. Check this out. This is kind of neat if it works. Yes, 4763. Let's just do that one because it doesn't need to be quite as big. On my cruise channel, it's at 9,700 people. I like cruise ships. And actually, someone mentioned about the Telegram. I'll put it in the comments of the video at the end of the video, and I'll pin the comment about the Telegram channel if people want to join it. But I for the cruise channel is at nearly at 10,000, and I've seen an idea that someone's done on YouTube where they've done a subathon. So they've done a live stream close to like people for million views, million subscribers, and they leave the live stream going until the amount of subscribers goes over that number, so 1 million or 100,000 or whatever. So I was planning to do that on my cruise channel for 10,000, but I'm like stuck at 9,700 forever because I'm not posting enough new videos. It's hard to have a cruise ship YouTube channel if you're not on a cruise ship, or you can't really do it from a kitchen in Moscow. So, and I think this based on this is the graph, by the way. Can you see the big jump in the graph where after Konstantin's video was posted, it went from, we had days where it was minus for about a week, and it basically lost subscribers every day, and then it just went crazy in the last 3 or 4 days. So 47.65. So I might just leave that there for a minute. Oh, now I've gone past. Fun fact. Oh, fun fact. Ireland and Japan are the only other countries in the world that are allowed to build F-35s beside the America. Oh, okay. I guess that's airplanes. Is it? I'd be poor. Re-private chat. Yeah, I'm not planning. Oh, sorry. I'm not planning to do the private chats or the subscriber only, whatever you call this one anyway. So nice to see more people on here tonight. Yes, Faith. Yeah, we're at. Oh, I'm going to just close this because it's easier for me to see. 47.65, by the way. So 47.66. It's just ticked over one more subscriber. Thank you, whoever's subscribing right now, if you're in the chat live. You don't tend to know who the new subscribers are. You can only see that where people have got their settings allowing for public viewing of your subscription. Not subscription. Yeah, subscribers to YouTube, right. Yeah, we have what do we got now? 55 people live. And I think the highest we got to 81 people. That's amazing. Wow, I didn't notice it was at 81 at some point. That's really cool. And we got 82 likes. So that's, oh, there you go. So we got more likes than current viewers. So that's a good deal. Thank you. We will go a little bit longer. Let's see what time we're at. Yeah, we're good. Just found your channel today, Russell. Love it. All the best from Abu Dhabi. Ooh, yeah, thank you, Mark. I guess you're maybe Mark Alina Tomia. Maybe you're not from Abu Dhabi originally, but maybe you're from somewhere else. But that's kind of cool. Thank you for joining the channel and I guess liking or subscribing or whatever you're doing to the channel. Thank you. How do you become a channel member? There's a join button. So I'm not sure if you're watching on your phone or your computer. There's a join button if you're watching on your computer. In the description of this video, there is a link about how to join the channel. I don't know how to say that part, but there is a link on how to join it. So maybe, I don't know, Gary, if you've got a computer or not. I don't know how to find that. Let me just go back a second. Maybe there's a link that I can post. Give me a second, everybody. All right, so where is that one? There it is. I guess if you're watching on your phone, you'd end up having to click away to get to that. I'm not too sure. So that's it right there. But there's a link in the description of all the recent videos anyway. I don't know if it's in every video. So there's kind of pretty much the subscribe link, and then there's the join the channel part. Then there's PayPal, SberBank, and Telegram. Telegram one is right there as well. So if you have Telegram as an app on your phone, I guess, in the search, just put Traveling with Russell. And that channel should come up, I think. So let me just click away on that. Sorry. 1 second, and I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm always apologizing. 47.67. All right, let's get back to that one so I can see the screen a little bit better. Weirdos. Thank you. I don't know. That's me. Maybe I'm the weirdo. My wife says that sometimes. It's a big deal, or everyone drinks a tinny. Oh yeah, right. I guess that's what you're talking about. It's a big deal, or a WA citizen. Everyone drinks a tinny. Yeah, that's the slang for beer. A tinny. So have a few tinnies. Now it's weird when you hear Australian words when you're over here in Russia. Congrats, you have 40. You've got 4,073. I think it's 47 something or other. 4760. 40. Wow, 40. Sorry. It's at 4770. We might get to 5,000 if we I don't know while we're here. 40, yeah, showing 4.74 here. Yeah, I guess it's gonna. I don't know how live the live is showing here, so yeah, let's go to screen sharing. I think I can do all of these things at the same time. I think I can. If anyone wants to watch this live, go up. Oh gosh, let's just put that down, and then it's gonna. Whoa. Sorry. Oh, now I can't see both. Oh, okay, that's not a good idea. Okay, 1 second. No, I can't. I don't really know why I need that open, but I just need it so I can see the chat over there. That's all. Okay, sorry, everybody. Let's go back again and see if... I'm sure there'll be some people that leave. 477. It's like going up and down, right? When people do the million subscriber thing, it jumps up and down. Once you're at a million, it goes crazy, right? But where are we here? Oh, you guys are kind of putting the numbers here, Peter. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Pirate Craggy. One more super chat. Thank you. £5. Landlubber cruise ship guy. Yeah, we actually went. I did the cruise from London to New York, and we stopped in Cobe. I kept getting it wrong at the time. It was Cobe, Cork, Ringaskiddy. I'm not sure if they're all the same place or not, but they were the three names that came up a lot. Oh, sure. If you want me to post the link to the cruise ship channel, oh, that might be a bit of an ask. I'll just do it this way. You guys are seeing behind the scenes. I think my internet's going to struggle for me to do this now. Let's just see though. I like cruise ships. Now let's go to your channel. So I won't sort of have the auto subscribe link. I'll just post that there. It's called I Like Cruise Ships. That's the name of the channel, by the way. So yeah, 97. It's 9,700, give or take. But I've not posted a video now in 4 weeks, which is very shameful of me. I was doing this really neat Q&A videos, cruise news videos, and I was doing Q&A videos. Oh, that's not going to be good. Anyway, that's going to... where I did all these question and answers. See this one here? So I answer questions about what people ask. I'll close that so it doesn't free up the internet too much here. I did a lot of Q&A videos, which are really cool. I just basically answered a specific cruise question and posted it as a video on my cruise channel, especially where there were fairly straightforward questions that I could answer. So, I'll subscribe to your channel. Yeah, thanks. So their links are in the description, I guess, or no, links are in the chat to go to the cruise channel. So, were you supposed to buy a microwave at 2,000 subscribers? Now you can buy 2. Yes, I think that was the thing. It kind of went to nearly 5,000 very quickly, especially after Constantine and I's collaboration video. I don't really want to call it a collab video because that's what YouTubers do, but I know when we've met before, we've met a few times. And when we met before, we talked about it, but then we just end up just sitting and having lunch, like a long lunch together, and just chat and talk and chat. And so, oh, Craggy, you've joined as a member. Thank you. Thank you for signing up as a member to the channel. I am working out a better way to do things for channel members. I don't know what I can really do more, but I will put different posts in the community tab. I think there's actually, if you go to that, you'll probably see members only posts. I don't know how you see that, but the plan was to post different photos there than the ones that I do as the community. So the join doesn't work on YouTube, on iPads. You just need to just use a laptop. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, I don't have Apple products, so I'm not sure. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry, lady. Lady Justice. Sorry to say the word lady. Hello, host. Oh, hello. Dong Joggers. That's an interesting last name. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you'd have to put the screen sideways if you've got an iPad, and there's probably the subscribe and the join button near each other. So, how about for supporting Russell? Yes. Thank you. Yeah. No, there was Peter also did a super chat, and sorry. Oh my gosh, someone else did super chat. Sorry. Mine says 476. I guess, yeah, there's going to be a delay. I guess maybe my channel's got as live a version. I think it doesn't seem to be live. It does say updating live in the corner over here. But yes, I guess, Chris, it's sort of maybe delayed a little bit, the live between them. How are you? I'm doing very well. Sibia, wow, my gosh. Sinja Sira Bia channel. Wow, that's a lot of words. You need a simpler channel name for your YouTube channel. If you want to be a little bit more successful, sorry to be blunt about it, but you need a little bit more simpler wording on your YouTube channel name if you want people to remember you or to be remembered, right? So sounds like Ireland to me. Nice part of the world to pull your boat into port. Yes. Actually, that day, I know this is horrible to say, that day we didn't get off the ship, or I didn't get off the ship. When the Carnival cruise ships that I work on have what's called port manning or in-port manning. So when the ship comes into port, so that the ship's safety is upheld. So if there was a fire or an incident or a man overboard or whatever, even if the ship's in port, particularly fires or incidents, there's enough crew members on board to basically assist in incidents or accidents or whatever you call it. When the ship gets into port, if every crew member got off and went to the local bar or shop or cafe, or there'd be no crew members on board. If there was and there is maybe a few thousand guests on board, there wouldn't be a way to basically run the evacuation procedures. So the cruise ships have what's called in-port manning. So in any port of call a ship's in, this is for Carnival, and a lot of cruise lines have the same, 33% of all the crew must be on board the ship at all times. So no matter what the position is of the person, as long as 33% of the crew are on board. For onboard incidents when the ship's in port, it's a different way that you handle. So when you're at sea, you'd basically board lifeboats or life rafts if there was an accident or incident. When you're in port, you'd do a shoreside evacuation. So you'd all go down the gangway and all leave the ship and evacuate. So there'd need to be people there to coordinate it. So there's a different duty or emergency duty that you'd be given if you're in port versus when you're at sea. And when we did that cruise, we did London to New York. I met a friend in Scotland. So we had to choose between getting off in Scotland or Ireland, and I chose Scotland. So You can do a cruise on the Volga. Some of the boats are extremely luxurious. Forget the Trans-Siberian Railway, Peter. Yes, I want to do the Trans-Siberian, though. I want to. I've seen so many videos about it and people doing it. I know it's just a train journey, but it would be. I've seen some of these river cruises. Yeah, they look very fancy. There's a few that dock in Moscow from time to time. Most of the ones in Moscow center tend to just be the tourist ones that go up and down. I don't think this subscriber thing is going to move. Maybe I'll just take it off. 4779. Yeah, I've not really looked into the river cruises like the Volga ones like this. But that if anyone watched the video I did about the $1 cruise, I went on a river cruise here it was 99 rubles for an hour and 40-minute river cruise. They have like the early morning or the first trip of the day discount when you go on the early morning river cruises. So that means 66% can go to the pub. I like that. Nice pubs in Corktown. Yes. The guys that got off that day, so when the ship comes into port early morning, so they got off and they wanted to go to an Irish pub. And obviously the pubs don't open till a certain time. I don't know what time it was that day, but they found a taxi driver, the guys from the shops who I worked with. The taxi driver took them to a pub, and obviously he knew the guy that was maybe the landlord or the publican, and they let them in the back door, so to speak, and they sat and drank in the bar with the guy that probably runs the pub or the bar they went to. And that was their day in Ireland. So they had quite a story that they could say afterwards about that. So knock the door in a special way and you're in. Yes, that's it, Pirate. That's exactly what it was. I think the taxi driver obviously must have known where to take them. And maybe it's a thing, right? That people that come, they want to do that kind of thing. So we've caught up on the chat. That's really nice. Really nice. Let me just bring that one over here. I've moved my screens to my other screen now, and I can't see what I'm looking at. So, Pirate Craggy, you'll see now by your name. Sorry for yelling loud. There's a little symbol that comes up as a channel member. And then also, if you do happen to comment on any videos, I can pin the comments of channel members, and it prioritizes answering questions, particularly questions that come in the comments of a normal video. So yeah, I do ask everybody after the video is ended or at some point, if you might want to put a comment on the this video, not like you're doing in the chat now, but in the comments of the video. Maybe just say, I don't know, hello or hi or thank you or something. I don't know. Sorry for being blunt like that, but it's always nice. Oh, Rovian HD, I think I missed you. How's it going? I don't know did you comment already? Thank you for doing that though, if you did. A dumb question. Oh, okay. Maybe that was a dumb question. What's your opinion? Okay, so I'm not going to put it up on screen here because I took it down so quickly. I don't really have an opinion. To be very honest, I know things are happening. I know things are going on. I know things aren't great, good. They're, it's hard to say the word awful, but I'm not there. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing the news or the TV or the internet or whatever I'm seeing. I mean, there is towns that things have happened. I don't really have an opinion that I can give. I'm sorry. As an outsider, let's say, not from Russia, not from Ukraine, not from any of these other war-torn countries. Let's say Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, all these places. Things aren't good, right? I mean, that's it. So it's by the way, my grandfather was in the Polish paratroopers. My grandparents on my mother's side are Polish, by the way. My grandfather on my dad's side was in the British Army, but he never saw service. My grandfather on my mom's side did. And my grandmother, I'm not sure what she did exactly, but something to do with helping the troops at the time, so Yeah. Um, you'll get fish and chips laid on, even music. Wow, if you come on in the back in the special way, yeah, that would be. Yeah, when we did that crossing to New York, we stopped in St. John's, Newfoundland, and the ship had a medical emergency. We left Reykjavik, Iceland, then we were going to St. John's, Newfoundland, and we had to have someone debarked off the ship. The ship came in the night before the day we were meant to dock. So they put the gangway down, I think 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And the shops closed because we were on a sea day that day. And we all went to the pub or to the bars in St. John's, Newfoundland. And that guy there, none of us had Canadian money. We all walked in with US dollars. We all just said, look, we'll just pay whatever the price is in dollars. We're okay. We just want to drink. And then slowly by the end of the night, I think the guy that owned the bar realized he was making way too much money. And he started bringing trays of shots out and drinks. And they have in Newfoundland the Newfie Screech. It's kind of like Jägermeister in a way, but it just a little bit more crazier. And he brought out trays of these shots for everybody. I guess paid out of the exchange rate of the money that we spent. That was a pretty neat cruise to be on, by the way. You were talking about Anderson Cooper. He's a good reporter. I think he's on CNN. Yes, Monsieur. Yeah, I was mentioned Anderson Cooper. Yeah. That video I watched where he was in someone's house, it was very nice to see him because she probably didn't realize the way she was filming it, that he was sort of just sitting there at the kitchen table sipping tea, just like you would do in any Russian apartment. You'd just sit there at the table. Everyone tends to congregate in the kitchen a lot in apartments in Russia. It's like the kind of gathering place in the house. Yeah, you right. Exactly. Thank you, Peter. Yes. Sorry, I think. Am I going? No, I'm not. Okay. Trinidad and Tobago. Barbara Crease. There we go. Trinidad. Oh, West Indies cricket fan, I wonder. I did meet some Indian guys here going back about a month ago. We went to a shopping center and there was a guy selling like hardware for houses, particularly doorknobs, latches, hinges. And he was an Indian guy. And I'm like, oh, you must love cricket. And he's like, oh, I've lived in Russia like 30 years. So cricket's out of my life now. And I just thought every Indian loves cricket. Like anybody in the Caribbean loves cricket. And my dad has actually been to Trinidad and Tobago. I have not been up there on a cruise ship. Been to Barbados. So, and my dad tells me to this day that he's been to somewhere in the Caribbean I've not been to. And he always says that he's been to Trinidad and Tobago on a cruise. I actually appreciate that this channel is not about politics and that it is a fun chat room with friendly people all over the world. Pamela, thanks. Yes, that is probably one of the things that I want to do about this channel is just be, it's kind of weird, right? I could honestly be sitting anywhere in the world talking back to you guys and living here and chatting like this. It doesn't sort of feel like I'm in Russia in a way, in a funny way. I really could say I'm anywhere, right? I guess if you watch the videos on my channel, it gives it away, but it's, that's the whole thing. People everywhere in the world, it's crazy, all the different countries where people are from and how I can reference it a little bit that I've been there or maybe not. So, did you kiss? Oh, that's the Blarney Stone. Screech. Yeah, that's a Newfie Screech is the drink we had in Canada. Did you kiss the fish? Are you talking? Oh, did you? Oh, maybe hang on a second. You're talking about the fish in Newfoundland. I don't know about that. Did you kiss the fish? I thought you were thinking about Ireland. There's the Blarney Stone where you can go kiss the rock. The news from my part of the world is my town was made a city, apparently a part of the Queen's Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee. The town's a dump. I certainly wouldn't be calling it a city. Yeah, I guess it gets to a certain population that it goes from town to city. Because in Perth we have like that town of Vincent, town of Claremont. Then where we were in Rockingham, we lived on Rockingham foreshore, so we were in the city of Rockingham. I don't know where my parents live is Baldivis. I think that's not. They don't say anything about Baldivis. What it is. So, yeah, so it's a Newfoundland tradition to kiss the fish after drinking screech makes you a local. I don't remember. Honestly, that night, I'd had a lot of drinks. And actually, it was probably one of my luckier nights. I knew the girl. She was one of the kids' youth counselors on board. And that's how that ended up that night. So I remember going out because whenever I go out somewhere, I kind of bring everybody along with me, and we knew that we were going to go to these bars, and we knew where it was. And I'm always kind of like the one that organizes things and gets people together and things like that. And I dragged a lot of people along to this bar, and because we knew where we were going and everything, we sort of planned out a few things. But to have the overnight was a bit of a bonus. But yeah, I remember that. I remember coming back to the ship and it was pouring with rain as well. Yeah, what time are we at? All right, so we'll go for now because I see Monsieur here is going to say goodnight. Okay, my brother, it was an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Heading out to Brooklyn now on errands. Do have a fabulous weekend to you and your brother's legendary baby. Thanks, Monsieur Mike. Yes, thank you, and I hope you enjoy. If we see in the chat blogging trucker reviews, he's also from New York as well. I don't think he's been in the chat tonight. He's someone that I met when I was working on the cruise ships. He was a passenger on board. Blogging trucker reviews. He sometimes comments on the videos and things like that. So sorry, I'm just looking over here at the other side. Yeah, so if you see him in the chat, another fellow New Yorker. So one thing when we cruised out of New York and Boston, the one thing that I pick up a lot on is I'm going to be blunt here, right, Mike, and say that there's a lot of Americans that come on the cruises that are a little bit fake, and they've got like this persona that they put across, I'm from here, but I live here, but I've done this, I went to school here, and and it's like a long story, all their history. And, it's just too much. And then when you cruise out of New York and Boston, I'm going to say about Boston as well and New York, they were just real people. Honestly, they'll say it how it is. Spade's a spade, a stone's a stone, And I think that's just from living in that New York fast kind of paced environment, that little bit harder place to live and grow up and, live through. And I found them to be very honest, true people. And I'll say that to every New Yorker that I'd ever meet, even on the cruises. And I just think that's just from living in New York that you kind of just get that kind of a little bit hardened to life. I'm sure there's other cities in America that people are like that as well. Probably, I'm going to say people from New Orleans as well, New Orleans as well. People like that. But there's a lot of people that you meet that just aren't really who they are. So I hope that kind of comes across as a good kind of thing. Harashov. Thanks. So I hope that's a nice way to sort of say that. Kagdala Harashov. Yes, thank you. How am I? I'm doing very well. Thank you. Any news about the microwave yet? Craig, it's still the same day. Tomorrow, no chance. My wife's working. I'm going to this barbecue thing tomorrow, Pirates. So I'm definitely going to film going there. I'm going to kind of have a walk around, see what it's like first to see if it's going to make some sort of suitable video. I'm going to go to another place in the morning, hopefully. And it's a market that I'm going to go to, like a flea market. They don't like people filming at that flea market, so I won't probably film there. But I want to go there anyway because it's only on Saturdays and Sundays, and now it's great weather. It's like beautiful to go walking around there. So, Brandon's from America too. Oh, hang on, where are we here? Oh, hardly made it to see you. Had a great time in the horizon. Leave for the miracle in a week. Miracle. Well, a lot of people say miracle instead of miracle. Sorry. I'm glad you enjoyed the horizon. I wonder if you met any of the people in the gift shops. I wonder if you went in there or not. I know there's only a couple of people left on there that I know. Mariana, she would have worked in perfume or in the either perfume or Victoria's Secret shop. She's from Romania. Mariana Postolache. And then Lawrence, my friend who was in the Invicta shop, big South African guy. I'm not sure if he's on vacation now. I've not chatted to him in a little while. So, yeah, if I go back to ships, it'll be automatically, I think, to Horizon. If I go back to America to a ship, I'm really trying to see if I can somehow do maybe some of the ships in the yards, some of the other cruise lines that do the ship launches, the new ships. But I'm not sure if that'll work out. I'm trying to get contact with the guy that does the new builds for our company for the shops. But it's hard to find the exact person I need to contact to kind of get a connection with him or she. Maybe it's a she. I think it's a guy, though. Monster Mike. Used to live in Brooklyn. Oh, there we go. Everybody's from New York now. So hopefully the Russian microwave market, I believe it's the harvesting season for them. Hopefully the Russian microwave market. No, Pirate, I'm going tomorrow to like a flea market at a place called Izmailova. Because I know I don't have to meet my friends till 1 o'clock. So I was going to go there earlier morning because it's like a morning market. But I've not been there for a little while. But I really like walking around there. It's called Izmailova market. So no microwaves. That might be secondhand one. But I'm not going to carry that under my arm everywhere with me. You got to be kidding. He knew selection is slim right now. Yeah, I wonder who it was in the liquor store. I think honestly, Brandon, if it's the shops, the company I work for is called Starboard Cruise Services, which is owned by Louis Vuitton, LVMH. And honestly, the 20 years I've been on ships, everybody would know me. If you just mention my name or bring up some sort of conversation, everybody would know me. So I wonder who it was that you met. That's really neat that someone knows me and recognizes me. So I don't think it's got any sway on anything, but Peter says, have you experienced any negative comments from Russian people because you are a foreigner? I've been living in Finland for nearly 5 years now. Learned the language and life here is going well. I honestly haven't. Honestly, and even in all the years I've lived here, I talked about it a little bit earlier about, a lot of people think I'm American just because I'm speaking in English. Oh, Amerikansky. No, Australia. You got to say Australia. 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 Sorry, the way I say it's not right, but so yeah, I've never noticed any negative comments or feedback. Everyone's sort of very positive about Australia, and I guess that's just from watching very limited TV about the place and what they know about it from kind of like, I don't know, like dangerous spiders and snakes and crocodiles and kangaroos and a lot of Russians, or if you meet people from Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, a lot of them know boxing as a sport. So Costa Zhu, which is a very famous Australian-Russian boxer, he's an Australian citizen, now lives back in Moscow with his family here. He's got a restaurant here in Moscow. And a lot of people know Costa Zhu, and I bring that up as a conversation. And if you can make that connection with somebody here, like especially maybe where it's sporting wise or some sort of thing about where they're from, it's a nice icebreaker, you know what I mean, when you chat to them and stuff. And yeah, nothing negative. Yeah, Finland, I've been to Helsinki. I was in the shipyard in Kavernamassa yard in Helsinki. Some of the cruise ships are built in Turku now, some of the bigger cruise ships. I'd love to go back there to do the cruise ships in Turku if that was possible. Actually, just going back earlier in the comments there, where Brandon mentioned about he's going on the Carnival Miracle, that was built in Helsinki, by the way, that ship's that's why it's still floating. Sorry, Brandon. There's always a bit of an argument about like the Horizon was built in Italy. And then the ships built in France, built in Finland. They always say the ones that are built in Finland are a little bit better than the Italian-built ships. The workmanship's a lot better in Finland. So, move to So, yeah, I've not learned the language. I probably should more learn the language. I know Noken in the Koken, if that means anything to you in your language. Originally from Wales. Oh, there you go. If you want to go to a website called cruisehive.com, it's a news website about cruise ships. The guy that runs that website's from Wales. His name's Emrys. I worked with him on cruise ships. So happy I found this channel today. Wishing you all a safe and happy day, night, wherever you may be. Until next time, be well. Thank you, Pamela. Yes, we are going to end the chat very soon. I'm going to maybe give a 5-minute countdown. I think we'll go right till 11 p.m. I'm not going to do any of these record-breaking live streams like I've done before. So fleas aren't tasty. No, they're not. Yeah, it's we call in Australia, we call them swap meets. In England, Ireland, you guys call them car boot sales. So it's kind of like a swap meet. Or a car boot sale is a flea market. I use all the different words from the different countries, so hopefully it kind of comes across a little bit easier that you understand it more. So you're now a fan of the flea markets in Finland? Yes, that'd be kind of pretty neat. Yeah, a lot of the, especially the one I'm going to go to tomorrow, has a lot of like Soviet, like it's as though someone just took it from their grandma's babushka apartment and just put it for sale. But it's like Russian, Soviet, like antiques almost. It's kind of a bit funny. So yeah, we'll end in around about 5 minutes time, the live stream. I think we're sort of slowly winding down a little bit now. 93 likes. Actually, what we might do is we'll see if we can get to 100 likes, if that's anywhere humanly possible. I don't think so now. I think enough people have kind of liked it that's watching now. If anyone notices that number, maybe you can follow it in the chat, how many likes we got. Barbara says, thank God for the time we are living in the world getting smaller with media. Interesting times we are in, Russell. Yes, social media has brought and using of phones and things like that, and chatting and live video calling and things like that, and obviously all the lockdowns we had, people working on Skype and Zoom. It's been a bit of a good thing. Yeah, the world is getting smaller. Yeah, like I was trying to think of what I was going to say about this earlier, but about this, you guys have heard of 6 degrees of separation? That everybody in the world knows everybody within 6 people. So you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows that person. So the whole world knows each other within 6 people. And I just find that just so interesting that if you can find the right person who knows the next person, they know that person. I know that sounds weird. I'm saying it in cuckoo talk, but great to hear I have a Russian neighbor. Oh, great to have a Russian neighbor. He has taught me a little Russian. He doesn't speak English, so it's Finnish and a little Russian. Wow. Yeah, I think maybe now Finland and Russia are not really having any good conversation. I don't know if your gas has been switched off today, Pete. Was it today or tomorrow? Today, I think. They said that they were going to have issues with gas supply to Finland, and I think they had a very good agreements with each other, right? Because they had shared borders. But now I don't know what's going to happen. Sorry. Oh, it's gone too quick now. What's going on now? Didn't Anir Khan beat Costa Zoo? I'm not sure. I don't really follow boxing. It's one of the sports I don't really like to watch. I just know Costa Zoo being a famous Australian. The captains on Carnival are all Italian, right? When will that change? It'll never change, Brandon. It's a thing since Ted Arison started Carnival when they basically acquired the first ships. It's basically a long-standing history of Carnival. They just celebrated 50 years, right? So there is a few Croatian deck and engine officers, but it's pretty much Italian deck and engine across the board. It won't ever change. Not for Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Corporation, which owns other cruise lines, have other histories of captains and things like that. But yeah, it's a big industry here for the cruise ships. My girlfriend was an electrician for a short time there in Helsinki. Oh, wow. Yes. Actually, this is a long time ago now, but I met a girl at a bar in Helsinki at Helsinki Club. No, we were at Molly Malone's. I met a Finnish girl, and this is how crazy this story is. We met. She took me back to her place that night after we met at the bar, and then she said, I've got to work tomorrow morning. She says, I can drop you back off at the shipyard, at the gate of the shipyard. I'm like, perfect, beautiful. So, because she worked in the city somewhere. And then the next day or so, someone brought me like a note, in Finnish, and I didn't have a clue what it said. So I basically went around the ship finding one of the workers from the yard, and I said, can you translate this from Finnish to English for me? And it said that it was really nice meeting you the other day. Let's maybe meet up again. Here's my phone number. And literally somebody randomly just gave me that note on the ship that day. It was like the day after or the day after that. And she'd gone down to the shipyard, wrote this note, given it to someone at the gate of the shipyard to go give it to somebody on the ship and find Russell on the cruise ship, the Australian guy on the cruise ship. That's just an absolutely wicked story. Like it's like it doesn't sound believable, but it's all true, right? But how this girl found me, and we were in the shipyard for 3 weeks when the ship was being finished, the construction at the end for the shops and the duty-free shops. We go there and basically do the final fit out and merchandising of the shops, and then we'd leave the shipyard then. And crazy story meeting that girl. Well, I'll remind you. Thanks, Gary. Yes, probably I'll end up going a little bit longer than I think now. Just my luck. So car boots, spot on. Yes. Did you ever enjoy the potatoes at Kroshka Katoshka? Were they worth the visit? Do you ever enjoy? I enjoy Kroshka Katochka. Yeah, baby potato. I will. My wife doesn't, because she thinks it's like just basic, simple food. But it's very nice. It's very cheap. It's edible, filling food. I like going there personally, but my wife doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't. It's strange. Not everyone likes Kroshka Katochka. Thank you, Peter. You're off as well. Dobro noche. Yeah, good night. Oh, yeah, dobro noche. Thanks. You guys putting all sorts of words now here. I don't know. I guess you're talking in Finnish with your good night. Once I type this until you read oh, yeah. So we're at 100. Oh, there we go, everybody. I'm going to get through the last bit of the comments. I think hopefully the comments will stop. I think you guys will keep typing away to make me mad here, make me stay longer here now. Thank you, Richard, for the thumbs up. Yes. Yeah, it's nice to find a happy streamer. Thank you. I think that's me, I guess. Thank you, Pamela. It's 4 p.m. here in the Caribbean. Nice. Oh, I won't tell my wife that you're in the Caribbean. She'll be all these places. When I keep telling her I've been there, I've done that, I've been there. When we were we were in the taxi. Oh, when we went to go get my visa sorted out the other day, and Celine Dion came on the radio, and I started singing, and she's like, "Oh, you know Celine Dion?" I'm like, "I went to the concert in Las Vegas," and she was like, "I kill you now every time I say something like this." She wants to kill me because I've been to Las Vegas. I went to see Celine Dion in concert. Yes. Oh, 100. Yes. Oh, 100 likes. What are you doing there? I'll give you a simple, short answer. I've explained it a few times. I live here. I've lived here for on and off for 9 years. My wife is Russian. She's from Ufa originally. We moved back here last year kind of during the COVID thing. And my wife needed to come back here to get some things sorted out. So I'm here with her. Simple. I have residencies, live here. Yes, thank you, Gary, for mentioning it. Thank you, Pirate Craggy, for super. Yeah, there was a few super chats, by the way. Peter also did one. Oh, Bebel Cruising did one as well. Yeah, thank you to people who did super chats, super likes. What do you call these? Super stickers? Super likes. Imagine if there was like a bigger thumbs up you could do. It's worth 2. My dream is to drive a Lada from Moscow to Paris. Insurance might be an issue. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. If you could possibly do that and get across all the borders and all that sort of thing, that would be kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't have that kind of dream. I've not really got that dream to drive around Russia, really. I really want to do the train thing. The distances to cover here are so incredible that, really it's flying or trains. I don't have any real want to drive anywhere here in Russia. So you met Celine. She's from Montreal. Yes, she is French-Canadian, right? The best I saw her, apart from seeing her live, I was third row middle. She was spitting at me when she was singing. Is when she did couple karaoke. If you watch that one with James Corden. It's been nice having a good evening. Until next time. Thank you, Rami. Oh, Sammy. Oh my God. I saw the M's and then I was going to say Sammy, Mammy. Oh my God. Be careful. Maybe America. Oh, okay. Okay. I won't see that. Thank you, Gary. Okay, everybody. I'm going to slowly wind down. My neighbor has already estate. It went like the clappers. My neighbor has already an estate. Oh, maybe a Lada estate car. Yes. Ladas aren't really everywhere here like people think they are. There is some of the more modern Ladas, the newer models. And then you see some of the older Ladas and then the Moscoviches, the older, even older versions. They're not everywhere. There's a lot more modern Western cars here. Well, Western, you say that, but they're probably still all from Asia and different countries. Hello. I'm not sure of your name. Hi. Peace, happiness, and whatever. Yeah, everybody. So, let's see. Sammy is a mammy. Thanks. Peace, happiness, may your God, whatever is important to you. Thank you. Peace out. Yes. Yes. I pray for Russia. Thank you, David. I appreciate what you're saying there. There was a few words not nice, but I appreciate that. I think I was timed out. Do you have a link to chat rules? We don't really have that. We have a moderator who basically sees where maybe certain words aren't very liked, or certain sentences aren't very liked. I guess that's the best way to put it. Thanks, Brandon. Catch you later. Everybody, I'm going to say thank you for watching the live stream. Thanks for the thumbs up. We're now at 104. We have a new channel member in Pirate Craggy. We have... I don't want any problems with the law. Yeah, I guess it's my side that the problems come, not your side. So, and we're just trying to keep it out of the chat as much as possible as well. Yeah, thanks, everybody. There are good people in both countries. Very true. Yes. Thank you, Maz. Everyone that's not here now or isn't typing anything in the chat, how do we become a member? There is a link in the description of the video where you can... subscribers are at 47.92. Yeah, there's a link in the description I can post it one more time, and I guess you'll click away to get to it. But if you're watching on a computer, there should be a join button next to subscribe. I don't know if you're watching on mobile where that is. So yeah, thank you, Pirate. Good stream. See you later. Thanks, Pirate. Thank you for the super chats. The microwave video is coming soon. I promise you. Tomorrow is the barbecue fest. What's it called again? No, barbecue fest. Whatever we're doing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thanks, Dave. All the best till next time. Do you like living in Russia, Nelly? Yes, I do. I actually really enjoy living where I live. Here in Aprelivka is the town where we live, about 40 minutes from Moscow center. It's a very nice, pleasant, quiet, small suburban area of Moscow region. It's just not too big, not too small. It's got everything we need. They were promising as a movie theater. They extended the shopping center. They didn't put it in, but no one seems to said anything. So I guess whoever was building that part didn't finish it. So microwave barbecue fest. But it's, what was it? It wasn't called a barbecue fest. It was something. Just seen the end of the live stream from Melbourne. Oh, morning, Matthew Famer. I hope you are enjoying your new prime minister, or our new prime minister, Anthony Albanese. Albo. And I'm going to see what time the football is on today as well. Hopefully it's on soon-ish, because I saw that there was no Fremantle or West Coast match. I'm from Perth, by the way. You'll see Perth Wildcats. So yeah, sorry for the caps. No worries, Prior Craggy. Time to go, Russell. Thank you, Gary. Yes. It's 11:11. It's remembrance time now. So thank you, everybody. I'm sorry if you're catching the end of the live stream. If anyone wants to watch it on replay, it'll be available later. Again, thanks for the thumbs ups. Thanks for the thumbs up. Sorry, the window's open here, just as you mentioned that, Pirate. And I'm going to close the window because it's getting cold in the kitchen. It's 8 degrees outside right now and only 23 inside. So it's cooling down a bit tonight. The beer is getting cold. It's getting cold in the kitchen. And I need a drink too. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Again, I'm going to click. I find this the hardest bit, saying goodbye. I know that's weird, but Matt, thank you. Gary, thanks again for being a very great moderator. It doesn't make me have to look over at the chat as much as I think I do now. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching Traveling with Russell. Tomorrow, the next day, there should be a new video about me going to the helicopter convention. Might not be as interesting as some of the other videos I'm doing, but I think it was cool. And it's my Australian take on seeing helicopters. So it's just like pulling off a plaster. Right, XY, exactly. All right, bye, everybody. See you later. Thanks. Post a comment after the video is posted if you can, if you'd like to, if you want to. I will try to reply to every comment as much as I possibly can. So catch you later. I've got to click the right button.